Chapter 30, 592. Lin Xian was silent. The reappearance of yin and yang. I want to fight immortals. What does this mean? Could there be an ancient expert sealed below? Could the reappearance of yin and yang have something to do with yin and yang? One should know that he had cultivated the Taiji art, which contained the power of yin and yang. Perhaps it had something to do with his arrival. Besides, I want to fight immortals. This was huge news. Were there really immortals in this world? Was the other party an emperor? Daring to fight immortals? He had no idea about all of this. Roar. At this moment, an extremely terrifying roar came from the heaven-reaching tower. The sound wave was extremely terrifying, and it reverberated through the 9 heavens and 10 lands. It even caused the surrounding void to shatter rapidly. Retreat. Yuan Mo roared. Lin Xian also used the Kunpeng movement technique and retreated quickly. As soon as they left, the void where they were previously shattered and turned into chaos. Everyone retreated. This sound wave was really too powerful. At this moment, countless rays of light surged out of the heaven-reaching tower, piercing through the void. The laws of heaven and earth flickered in the air. Obviously, everyone had finally locked onto their target this time. This roar came from the heaven-reaching tower. These newcomers were extremely powerful. There were even a few figures who brought with them terrifying natural laws. They arrived in the vicinity of the ancient heavenly tower and locked down the entire area. On the other hand, Lin Xian and the others quickly retreated to a safe distance as they watched on in shock. The area 100,000 miles ahead had become a terrifying forbidden area. There were only a few figures standing there, and the rest could only stay far away. One of them was a man with a strong aura. There were terrifying laws around him. From afar, it looked like it was raining laws. Who would have thought that the heaven-reaching tower would attract the attention of so many people? It was really surprising. The man spoke, and his voice shook the 9 heavens. Beside him, there were a few other experts. Their statuses and auras were extraordinary. Each and every one of them looked like war gods as they stood in that space. The mighty man in front said loudly, "I'm sure everyone has felt the roar just now. That sound wave is not something an ordinary sage can resist. This is just the outside. Who knows how terrifying that thing is? So, I'll give you a piece of advice. Those who are weak, leave quickly. Otherwise, who knows if there are any treasures here? You might die here. My Rain clan has always maintained the order and peace of the second astral realm. I don't wish to see many of you die here and cause a disaster." The voice spread clearly in all directions. Lin Xian, who was far away, was extremely shocked after hearing it. Someone from the Rain clan. This man was actually an expert from the Rain clan. His name was Yu He, and he was one of the most famous and powerful people among the Rain clan's middle-aged generation. This time, he came personally. It seemed that the Rain clan was to obtain the heaven-reaching tower. Yuan Mo explained to Lin Xian to Lin. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he listened. Rain clan? Indeed, enemies are enemies. After all, Xian, to him, was to be, was. You want to get rid of us with just a few words? Someone snorted coldly. Behind that person, there was a huge phantom of a demonic beast. It was extremely hazy, and its eyes were blood red. It had an aura that could destroy one's soul. It made one's scalp go numb. The other sages sneered as well. The secret of the heaven-reaching tower had been spread around for a long time. They waited for this day, with great difficulty. How could they leave just because of a few words? Even the sages in the surroundings were pacing back and forth. Although they didn't dare to leave immediately, none of them left. As long as there was a chance or a chaotic battle, they might be able to fish in troubled waters. The heaven-reaching tower is indeed dangerous. That's why we have to stay and work together with the Rain clan. That's right. If we work together, there's still a chance. Otherwise, I'm afraid you won't be able to enter. A few of them said coldly. This made Yu Bieha's expression turn cold. He sneered. Since you guys don't want to leave, then forget it. I've already warned you guys. The Rain clan no longer paid attention to the sages in the surroundings. They began to carefully observe the heaven-reaching tower. For a moment, everyone was observing. No one dared to enter.
Boom.
At this moment, the void shattered. Golden light shone from afar. A figure quickly glided over. He stood on top of the heaven-reaching tower. This scene shocked everyone. Who was it that was so daring? The heaven-reaching tower was incomparably powerful. The runes engraved on it were extremely mysterious. So many sages didn't dare to get too close, but someone actually dared to stand on top of it. Wasn't this too bold? Even Yuan Imo was surprised. Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes. In the next moment he saw a person, a young man. That young man had a heroic appearance. He wore a golden feather robe that was surrounded by a terrifying light. It was extremely dazzling. It was Di Ling. Many people exclaimed. Obviously, they recognized this young man. Lin Xian was shocked when he heard this.
What?
Imperial Mausoleum? He was Di Ling. He was too shocked. When he was in the first astral realm, he had heard this name more than once. However, he had never seen it before. He didn't expect to see this legendary genius not long after he arrived in the second astral realm. The other party was indeed very powerful. The laws on his body far surpassed his own. He was even stronger than the Rain Clan's expert Yu Bieha. This Di Ling was too terrifying. Lin Xian sucked in a breath of cold air. Beside him, Yuan Imo also said that this person was very powerful. Although he was more than 1,000 years old, he was only around 1,100 years old. He was still very young. He was already 1,100 years old. Lin Xian was surprised. Then he felt relieved. He was less than 100 years old. The other party was more than 1,000 years old. No wonder his laws were so strong. He was at the fourth heaven of the Sage Realm, almost reaching the fifth heaven of the Sage Realm.
He was really too strong.
However, the other party was so powerful that he dared to directly descend on the heaven-reaching tower. He didn't even put some of the surrounding small saints in his eyes. The other party was talented and strong. He indeed had the capital to be arrogant and proud. Furthermore, the power behind the other party must be extremely terrifying. After Di Ling, many experts descended. There was no lack of small saints among them. However, none of them dared to fight on the heaven-reaching tower like Di Ling. They were all fighting on their own side. The people around them were watching nervously. They didn't know when these experts would enter. They wanted to fish in troubled waters. They waited for about 7 days and 7 nights. On this night, the moon was very round. It was like a silver plate that hung in the sky. Today was the day of the full moon. Di Ling raised his head and looked at the silver moon in the sky. The corner of his mouth raised into a smile. The time was up. It was time to take action. Chapter 3593. The other saints also looked up at the moon and nodded. Indeed, it was time to take action. Otherwise, they would have to wait until the next full moon. The full moon of the Azure Tree Star was different from the full moon of other places. It was not once a month but once a year. If they missed it tonight, they would have to wait until the next year. Obviously, this full moon was related to the formation around the heaven-reaching ancient tower. Therefore, they had to take advantage of the time when the formation was at its weakest to break the formation. Yu Bieha's eyes flickered. He whispered to the Rain Clan's experts behind him to prepare for the next attack. The other minor saints also had terrifying laws on their bodies. They were all ready to attack the heaven-reaching ancient tower. Di Ling took the lead. With a long roar, the sound wave shattered the void. The golden feather robe on his body turned into a terrifying light and slashed forward. Behind him, the Rain Clan's experts and the surrounding minor saints also took action. All kinds of laws of heaven and earth bloomed and shrouded the heaven-reaching ancient tower. This terrifying scene caused the crowd to continuously retreat. Yuan Imo also said, "Brother Lin, this place is too dangerous. Those experts will definitely unleash their full strength later. Let's go to a safe place." Lin Xian nodded and retreated a few million li away. The surrounding people were also retreating, but they retreated by 100,000 li or a few 100,000 li compared to the few million li that Lin Xian and Di Ling retreated. It was much closer. Many people even showed disdain when they saw Lin Xian and Di Ling retreating so far away. They were so afraid of death and still dared to come here to seek opportunities. In front of them, the heaven-reaching ancient tower was constantly shaking under the impact of the laws. It seemed like it would collapse at any time, but it did not collapse. The black stone was abnormally hard. The runes on it flickered. Suddenly, a terrifying black mist emerged from the windows of the heaven-reaching ancient tower, sweeping in all directions. As soon as the black mist appeared, it devoured the laws of heaven and earth and shrouded the area. Not good. Those minor saints sensed the aura of death and quickly retreated. It's the death mist. Someone screamed and retreated quickly. The little saints and even the Rain Clan's experts all had great skills and exceptional great divine abilities. They retreated extremely quickly. However, the people within tens of thousands of miles or hundreds of thousands of miles didn't manage to escape. Their vitality was instantly sucked dry by the death fog. They turned into bones. Before this, they were mocking Lin Xian, but who knew that they were the pitiful ones? They didn't have powerful strength or cultivation, but they still wanted to take advantage of the situation. They got so close, and now they were finally killed by the death fog. The heaven-reaching ancient tower had been brought here by some unparalleled powerhouse in the midst of death. But now he realized that this wasn't the case. At this moment, the death mist was being released to the surroundings due to the impact of the outside world. How much death mist was there in the heaven-reaching tower? He had no idea, but he felt that this was an opportunity. Because he had the Tai Chi art, he could go to the heaven-reaching tower without being threatened by the death mist. Lin Xian was worried before this. With so many minor saints and experts here, he might not have the chance to explore the tower. But now he realized that it was not so. The death mist might be his biggest help. Di Ling, Bi He, and the experts in front soared into the sky, surrounded by the laws. Their faces were gloomy as they looked at the heaven-reaching tower. After the death mist was released, a deep roar was heard from the heaven-reaching tower. Then a huge shadow appeared behind the heaven-reaching tower. The shadow was very scary. Its eyes were shining with a clear light that made people's scalp numb. It was the phantom of a demonic beast. It seemed like there was an ancient demonic beast suppressed in the heaven-reaching tower. Just the illusion alone was already so terrifying. What exactly was it?
Boom, boom.
Between the sky and the earth, the enormous black illusory figure disappeared. The pitch-black door of the ancient building slowly opened. Waves of death mist came out from the gate. The gate was opened, and the formation was broken, but the death mist was not easy to deal with. What should we do? Should we retreat? The experts of the Rain Clan frowned and asked. Yu Bieha snorted. It's fine. We'll wait for a while. Although the heaven-reaching tower is powerful, it can't contain too much death mist. After all, this is not the scattered star ocean, so there's no need to worry too much. Hearing this, the experts of the Rain Clan heaved a sigh of relief. The eyes of the other experts flickered. Indeed, just like what Yu Bieha said, there can't be too much death mist here. Sure enough, after waiting for 10 days, the death mist gradually faded and was no longer as dense as before. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Although the death mist faded, it was not something that everyone could bear. A few third heavenly layer saints wanted to break through. But as soon as they got close, their skin dried up and became full of wrinkles, making it difficult for them to move. They screamed, "No, my life. Damn it. I lost 500 years of my life. I lost 300 years of my life." These people screamed crazily and quickly retreated. Only those true minor saints could rely on the power of heaven and earth to open their saint domain and resist the death mist. Of course, there were exceptions. For example, Yu Bieha was a 5th heavenly layer saint who had yet to reach the minor saint realm. However, he could still resist the death mist, because he had a decree of the Rain Clan in his hand. The decree of the Rain Clan shot out countless rays of light and enveloped him. It blocked the death mist. In addition, there was also Di Ling. The green wings on Di Ling's body formed a terrifying ball of light, making him look like a divine being. Needless to say, this was a very terrifying battle armor. It was a saint tool, a defensive type saint tool. It could definitely block the death mist. Kid, this place is really a good place for you to display your skills. Hurry up and go in. Otherwise, the treasure will be taken away by others. He Shan transmitted his voice. Lin Xian took a deep breath after hearing this. There's no need to rush. Didn't you see that those minor saints didn't go in? If we go in now, we'll definitely attract attention. If a first heavenly layer saint didn't go in rashly, he must have some trump cards. If they discover my secret, I'm afraid I'll be cut into pieces. So, we'll wait for them to go in first. According to my guess, it won't be easy for them to get what they want. After all, that thing is an existence that dares to be called a war immortal. Chapter 3594. You're getting smarter and smarter. He Shan also praised. Although he had not been following Lin Xian for a long time. However, he could clearly feel that Lin Xian was improving every day, whether it was his cultivation base or his knowledge. Next, he waited patiently. The minor saints in front of him were preparing to attack. The experts of the Rain Clan were also preparing. Di Ling's eyes shone with a cold light. His black hair fluttered in the wind. He was like a deity. He took the lead and rushed towards the heaven-reaching tower. The death mist around him was sliced apart by the armor on his body. He turned into a torrent and entered the ancient heavenly tower. The surrounding people were amazed. Di Ling was indeed a legendary genius. He was too strong. Even the minor saints did not dare to get close to the tower, but he dared to enter. The minor saints harumphed coldly when they saw this scene. Their expression was solemn. They knew that they could not wait any longer. On the other side, Ubieha also activated the Rain Bamboo Decree. It wrapped around him and the experts of the Rain Clan and entered the tower. Rays of light entered the heaven-reaching tower one after another. Seeing that the minor saints had entered the tower, the other minor saints also became restless. They began to try to enter the heaven-reaching tower. Some of them were careful enough to enter the tower. Of course, some were unlucky and came back screaming. Their hair had turned white, and some of them had turned into white bones. In short, it was extremely dangerous to enter the tower. After staring for a while, Lin Xian felt that it was about time. He said, "Brother Yuanimo, do you want to go in and have a look?" Yuanimo was startled. "You want to go in? Don't joke around. Didn't you see that many people had died? Even if they were strong enough to come out, they would lose a few hundred years of their lifespan." Yuan Mo's face turned pale. He felt that Lin Xian was joking. Lin Xian said, "I saw it. However, I have a way to go in." "Thank you very much. We'll meet again if fate allows it." Lin Xian waved his hand and soared into the sky, flying towards the ancient tower.
Damn.
Yuan Mo went crazy. His eyes widened in disbelief. He thought that the other party was just joking. Who would have thought that the other party was really interested? Did this brat not want his life anymore? It was hard for him to imagine how a person at the first celestial layer could be so audacious. One had to know that even he did not dare to enter. When he saw Lin Xian really enter the ancient tower and disappear, he felt that everything was unreal. The other party had really entered. However, would they be able to find any treasures after entering? Or were they killed by those powerful little saints with a single strike? Sigh, what a waste of a genius. Yuan Mo shook his head and left. Lin Xian did not know what the other party was thinking. He had entered because he had the Taiji art and could ignore the death fog. He could even make use of the death fog. This was his greatest trump card. After entering, Lin Xian discovered that the Tong Tian Tower had its own space. It was much bigger than what it looked like from the outside. It was like a small independent world. It should have been built by the person who built the ancient clear heaven tower back then with a peerless divine ability array. I wonder what's hidden in this place? He looked around and found that there was still a death fog in the ancient clear heaven tower. However, the death fog was usually at a higher altitude. As long as they flew at a low altitude, They would not encounter any danger for the time being. There were many figures in front of them, investigating. Lin Xian followed behind. There were still people entering from behind. At this moment, someone screamed because there were blood-red eyes opening in the death fog above their heads. They emitted a cold light with monstrous killing intent. The pairs of red eyes were extremely terrifying. It made one's scalp tingle. Damn it, how could it be possible? There were living things in the death fog. What kind of existence was it? It was not afraid of the power of death.
Buzz. Buzz.
Those blood-red eyes walked out, and everyone saw black figures one after another. They looked like death warriors. Those red eyes were made of divine crystals. They were not humans, but puppets. Puppets? No wonder. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief. They were made by puppeteers and had no life. That was why they were not afraid of the power of death. As soon as these puppets came out, they stared at the intruders and began to attack. It seemed like their duty was to protect the ancient Clear Heaven Tower. No one was allowed to enter. A great battle broke out in front. The laws danced in the air again. Vast energy surged. Fortunately, the space in the ancient Clear Heaven Tower was really big. Otherwise, with so many saints attacking at the same time, this place would have been destroyed. Moreover, Lin Xian also sensed that the space inside had formed its own laws. It had a certain suppressive effect on the laws outside. Basically, half of the power was suppressed. It was really a terrifying ancient building. If the owner of the ancient building appeared at this time, killing these minor saints would be as easy as blowing off dust.
Swoosh.
3 puppets quickly charged at Lin Xian. They held dark blades in their hands that flickered with cold light. They wanted to cut Lin Xian's body in half. How terrifying! These death puppets were actually so powerful. They were much more powerful than ordinary sages. Moreover, they carried the aura of death fog that made one's hair stand on end. Kid, I guess the person who made these puppets should have combined the power of the death fog. So, you can try using your Tai Chi art. He Shan transmitted his voice. Lin Xian nodded. He circulated the Tai Chi art, and the Tai Chi art in his body rotated. A dark force of Tai Yin flowed out. The 3 puppets in front stopped. Their red eyes revealed a trace of doubt. They couldn't lock onto their target. The intruder in front of them was emitting the same aura as them. He was one of them. These puppets instantly gave up on Lin Xian and charged at the people around him. Some people rushed over from behind. They were attacked the moment they arrived and immediately counterattacked crazily. The 3 puppets were all killed. The gazes of these people swept in all directions. Some of the powerful ones among them frowned when they saw Lin Xian. A first heaven saint could actually come here. It was really unexpected. He was probably a young junior who came here with an expert from his family or sect. Otherwise, how could he come here with his strength? Kid, let me give you a piece of advice. Leave quickly. No matter which family you are from, you are too weak. Your elders can't protect you. Those people had cold smiles on their faces as they ignored Lin Xian. In their opinion, entering such a place with such a cultivation base was simply courting death. At this time, this place was full of danger. There were puppets and death fog. Even a minor saint would be on high alert. Who would have the time to take care of a junior? Chapter 30, 595. For example, Lin Xian was targeted by the 3 dark puppets. If it wasn't for them, the 3 undead puppets would have killed Lin Xian in an instant. Of course, that was what they thought. Lin Xian was secretly happy when he saw these people ignoring him. Great, this was the feeling he wanted. That was to make everyone ignore him. Only then would he be safer. After coming up with a plan, Lin Xian was still following them from afar, ready to take advantage of the situation. At this moment, a minor saint in front of them made his move. He took out a bronze lamp and lit it up. The bronze lamp flickered, and the flame emitted a strange flame. Suddenly, the undead puppets in the surroundings retreated quickly, like the tide. This scene caused everyone to be extremely shocked. Lin Xian was also shocked when he saw this. What kind of ancient lamp was this? It had such a strange effect. It was the longevity lamp. It was formed from the fire of the sun after thousands of years of refinement. It was used to restrain evil spirits. It could restrain the power of death. He Shan explained. For example, your 9-yang divine body. If you reach great mastery and use it after entering, I reckon all the undead puppets will have to retreat. The experts in front of them kept searching. Finally, someone dug out something. It was a crystal the size of a fist. It was crystal clear, and there was a trace of red liquid sealed in it.
Good stuff.
The crystal was emitting a strange aura. It probably contained a mysterious energy. Suddenly, the eyes of the experts in the surroundings turned red.
Get lost.
It's mine. One of them roared and stretched out his palm. The light was as bright as the sun. Another person shouted angrily, "Go to hell." A ray of sword light pierced through the sky with a terrifying law.
Boom, boom, boom.
The terrifying collision of law was like millions of mountains collapsing. It was shocking. Those people started fighting. Cracks appeared on the crystal, and it looked like it was about to break. Not good. Kid, leave quickly. There's something wrong with that thing. He Shan transmitted his voice. After Lin Xian heard it, he used the Kuan Prung movement technique and left in an instant. As soon as he left, the crystal that everyone was fighting for finally cracked. With a cracking sound, it broke. Red liquid flowed out of it. A tinkling sound was heard. It was like the sound of spring water. The sound was very pleasant to the ears, but the space in that area had completely sunk. Countless large cracks appeared, and the bodies of the surrounding sages were instantly torn apart. They screamed in pain, as if they had gone mad. Some were beaten into a bloody mist, while others had their arms and heads chopped off.
Run.
Those people were alarmed and fled one after another. Lin Xian also felt a wave of lingering fear. What was that thing? It was too terrifying. Black Mountain Road. That was the blood of a saint, an extremely terrifying one at that. The blood of a saint. A single drop of saint's blood could kill countless kings. This was something that Lin Xian had known for a long time. Now, these saints had been killed by an even more terrifying drop of blood. What was the strength of the other party? Sage King? Great Sage? Or even more terrifying? He didn't know. However, this one was definitely an extremely terrifying existence. A drop of blood floated there like a pill, emitting a demonic light. However, none of the saints dared to approach it. It turned out to be such a powerful saint's blood. What an unexpected surprise. At this moment, a stream of light flew over from afar and transformed into a human figure. It was Di Ling. He had actually turned back from the front. Everyone was shocked. Di Ling belonged to the front line. They didn't expect him to turn back from the front. Could it be that he was here for the saint's blood? Humph. Some of the saints sneered. Di Ling was famous, but so what? There were so many of them, but they couldn't get that drop of blood. Could Di Ling do it? They didn't think so. Humph. Let's see what this so-called genius is capable of. Yu Bia stood in the void with a cold smile on his face. The others also looked at it. Lin Xian also watched silently from afar. Di Ling was wearing a pair of golden wings, looking like a god. He looked at the blood that was emitting a terrifying light and sneered. He formed a seal with his palms and spat out something from his mouth. That thing was only the size of a finger at first, but it kept growing bigger as soon as it came out. Finally, it appeared in front of everyone. What was that? When everyone saw that thing, they were all stunned. Then their scalps went numb. Damn it, why was it that thing? They all went crazy. Even Lin Xian was dumbfounded. He couldn't believe it. To be honest, he wasn't surprised by what Di Ling spat out because he was wearing a saint artifact. Lin Xian felt that it was normal for him to spit out another saint artifact. However, he really didn't expect the thing that Di Ling spat out. It was a coffin, a green coffin. He didn't know what material it was made of. It was floating in the void, looking very strange. Damn, what's going on? There was a coffin in Di Ling's body. Everyone went crazy. Lin Xian also frowned. He Shan also said, "Damn it, this guy is strange." Be careful. The Rain clan and Ubieha's side were also shocked. Their eyes were filled with fear. Having a coffin growing within one's body was too bad for cultivation, wasn't it? Who was buried in the coffin? Why did he have to carry it with him? Could it be that thing? He thought of the power behind Di Ling and felt his scalp go numb. Di Ling had actually brought that thing out? No wonder he was so arrogant and dared to ignore them and so many minor saints. It turned out that he was relying on that thing. Di Ling sneered in the face of everyone's shock, surprise, and fear. He formed a seal with his palms, and the green coffin shone brightly. It absorbed the drop of Saint's blood. Nothing happened? The surrounding sages were terrified. Previously, when they were fighting for it, they were all injured. But now, nothing happened to the cyan coffin. Just what was inside. Di Ling once again swallowed the green coffin into his body, and then looked around. Then, he said coldly, if anyone finds this blood in the future, tell me directly. I will reward you handsomely. Everyone went on their way again. Lin Xian continued to follow. At this moment, he was stunned because he felt as if there was a pair of eyes staring at him. He turned his head and found a middle-aged man behind him. He had a pale face and no beard, like a scholar. At this moment, he was staring at him, which made his hair stand on end. Who is this man? Lin Xian thought carefully and found that he didn't know him at all. He turned around and wanted to leave. At this time, the middle-aged man behind him spoke. It's not easy for a sky layer cultivator to come here and live until now. It's really surprising. I'm curious. What kind of trump card and confidence do you have to come here and fish in troubled waters under the hands of so many experts? Chapter 3596. Hearing this, Lin Xian's body trembled. He had a bad feeling that he was being watched. He had been so careful and kept a low profile because he didn't want to be watched by the strong. But he didn't expect that someone would notice him. Who are you? I don't understand what you mean. I came here with my elders. Lin Xian said coldly. Is that so? Then explain why the 3 undead puppets didn't attack you. Lin Xian's pupils shrank. Damn it, he had been discovered by the other party. The other sages didn't notice this before, but the other party did. Could it be that the other party had been watching him? Who was this person?
Tell me your secret. Don't blame me for attacking.
The middle-aged man emitted an extremely dangerous aura. At this moment, the surrounding sages had already followed Di Ling and the others and rushed forward. There weren't many people around. Only the 2 of them were left. The middle-aged man seemed to want to attack. Lin Xian was thinking about how to act. At this moment, Heishan said, he's not as simple as he looks. Don't act rashly. Hearing this, Lin Xian was stunned. He did want to attack because the middle-aged man in front of him was only a level 3 sage. If he attacked with his full strength, he might be able to kill the other party. But Heishan warned him not to attack. What was going on? Could it be that the other party was hiding his cultivation and strength? If that was the case, it would be troublesome. At this moment, Heishan said, let me do it. He's more complicated than you think. Heishan came out and a terrifying demonic aura enveloped Lin Xian. It was as if Lin Xian was possessed. Don't attack. We're the same kind of people. Heishan said coldly. The beardless middle-aged man was also stunned. There was indeed a problem. He sneered. Don't talk about me. Aren't you the same? Did you descend? Heishan said coldly. After saying this, the middle-aged man's aura suddenly surged and his aura changed. It was as if he was possessed by an old monster. He said, you're right. You can see that I descend. Looks like you're not weak. Which faction do you belong to? Don't worry about which side I'm on. Let's talk about the possibility of us working together.
Heishan asked.
That middle-aged man laughed coldly. He was like an old monster. Joining hands? There was no rush. Let's observe the situation first. At the very least, he had to figure out what was in this place. After saying that, the terrifying aura on his body disappeared. Then he turned around and flew forward.
Soon he left.
Black Mountain only returned to the pendant after the other party had left. Lin Xian asked, what was going on? Did he also have an old monster with him? He guessed that the middle-aged man must have an extremely terrifying Saint Remnant soul by his side, just like him. Black Mountain, on the other hand, said that something wasn't right. He didn't have an old monster by his side. Instead, some old monster had used a descending technique on him and refined him into a clone. The other party's true body might be a holy venerate or even stronger. Thus, that clone was also incomparably terrifying. Because of this, he was able to see how extraordinary you are. So that's how it is. Lin Xian took a deep breath. It seemed like the water in this heaven-reaching tower was really deep. First, there were few minor saints, then there was D. Mausoleum. This kind of peerless genius even had a mysterious coffin in his body. In the end, even the clone of a holy venerate had come, who would be able to obtain the treasure in the end. Lin Xian felt an immense amount of pressure. His body swayed as he walked forward even more carefully. Finally, he caught up with the group in front. At this time, he saw that the scene in front of him had changed. In the sky, there was a huge river that was roaring and surging like the Milky Way. The river would occasionally flow into and out of the death mist. There was light on it, but no one knew where it was flowing to. He was not the only one who was shocked by this scene. Even the little saints in front of him were shocked. There was actually a river in the heaven-reaching tower. It was really strange. Moreover, they found many corpses in the river. They had all turned into white bones. Moreover, they were all broken bones. No one knew how many tens of thousands of years they had been dead. It seemed like they were not the only ones who had the idea to enter the heaven-reaching tower. There should be many people who had come here in the past to search for the secrets. However, they had all died here. Their hair stood on end. What had killed them? Was it the death puppets or the death mist? Seeing that many people were retreating in fear, Yubieha sneered. Humph, a bunch of trash. What are you afraid of? The heaven-reaching tower was not in the azure tree star. It was in the death mist.
Perhaps they had killed them at that time.
Now that they were in the azure tree star, they had been cleansed by this strong vitality for many years. Even if it was dangerous, it would not be too dangerous. If you are afraid of death, you can get lost. Many people's expression changed after hearing his words. Some of them were even gnashing their teeth in anger. Damn it! He dared to look down on them. How hateful! However, no one dared to make a move because Yubieha himself was very strong. Moreover, he had brought many experts of the Rain clan. In his hand, he had the decree of the Rain clan. It was unwise to become enemies with such a person. Seeing that the surrounding people did not dare to make a move, Yubieha sneered with disdain. However, in the next moment, his expression changed. Courting death. With a roar, he struck out with a palm. A terrifying palm of law slammed towards the back. At the same time, he roared crazily. Damn it! Who dares to sneak attack me? In truth, Yubieha was mad. Someone dared to sneak attack him. That person was courting death. The others felt their scalps go numb.
Who was it?
Did that person want to die? With a boom, an earth-shattering sound was heard. A black figure was sent flying back. Everyone looked carefully. They wanted to see who was so daring. In the next moment, they were stunned. They realized that it was not a person who had sneak attacked Yubieha, but a fish. It was indeed a fish, and it was only 2 meters long. Its entire body was covered in white scales, and there were terrifying runes on them. Its long fangs were exposed. Its eyes were scarlet and emitted a demonic aura. It was this fish that had sneak attacked Yubieha. Yubieha's expression sank. He was actually sneak attacked by a fish. How shameful. Go to hell. He played a card that contained the terrifying law of water. That strange fish actually shuttled back and forth within the water law and attacked Yubieha.
Damn. What kind of fish was that?
It could actually resist the law. The surrounding people were dumbstruck. Yubieha's strength was very strong. Even a saint of the 4 heavens could not withstand his attack. However, the other party could still shuttle back and forth. That strange fish was too terrifying. Chapter 30, 597. Courting Death. Yubieha roared. His opponent was actually not afraid of his water law. But did he really think that he only had one law? Yubieha opened his mouth and spat out a green light blade.
It was the wind law.
The strange fish was sent flying. Its body swayed and rolled in the air. But what shocked everyone was that the strange fish was not injured at all. Even Yubieha himself was stunned. His wind law was definitely able to cut a fourth-layer sage in half. One must know that he was a fifth-layer sage. But now he was actually unable to do anything to a fish. It was too strange, too strange. Behind him, Lin Xian sucked in a mouthful of cold air. What kind of fish was this? Its body was so terrifying. Why did I feel that those unparalleled bodies could not compare to this strange fish? Kid, don't lament here. Quickly leave. He Shan hurriedly transmitted his voice. What's wrong? Lin Xian was startled. He Shan said that there were many strange fish in the Milky Way above them. Hearing this, Lin Xian's face instantly turned green. One strange fish was able to contend against Yubieha. If there were thousands of them, wouldn't they be eaten? Now Lin Xian finally knew why there were so many bones in the Milky Way. They were all eaten by the strange fish. Thinking of this, he turned around and ran. Everyone was still shocked by the strength of the strange fish. But suddenly, they saw a figure pass by them. With the eyesight of these sages, they could naturally see that it was a first-layer sage. F***CK, whose family's junior is actually running around here. Many of them were dissatisfied. Ignorant fool. Isn't it just a strange fish? Does he really think that he can contend against our elder Bieha? The Rain Clan's people were even more ridiculing. However, Lin Xian did not pay attention to these people. He flew towards the depths of the Milky Way with extreme speed. Everyone was still ridiculing Lin Xian for being a coward. But in the next moment, they were all stunned, because they saw countless strange fish rushing out from the Milky Way above them. They were densely packed. F***CK. What's going on? Why are there so many fish? F***CK. Quickly run away. At this moment, everyone's face turned green. They frantically ran away. Those who were previously ridiculing them were so scared that they peed their pants. F***CK. How did that kid know in advance? They did not perceive anything here. How did he know? Damn it, he was running for his life. He was not afraid of a strange fish, but of a school of fish.
Run.
At this moment, these sages could no longer remain calm as they fled frantically. The Rain Clan's people also wanted to escape, but they were a bit too slow and were attacked by the school of fish. Immediately, several Rain Clan's experts were scattered by the school of fish. The Rain Clan's experts were infuriated. They immediately counterattacked, but there were too many fish. Furthermore, these strange fish truly didn't fear any law attacks. And the experts of the Rain Clan were bitten to the point where their flesh was torn apart. They were in an incomparably miserable state. Very quickly, 3 experts of the Rain Clan fell. Yubieha wanted to show off and save his clansmen, but he was surrounded by hundreds of strange fish in an instant. His face turned green. He broke through the void and used the Jade Decree to escape. He no longer cared about his clansmen. Everyone was running away. Those experts, minor saints, and even D-Ling began to fly away. At the same time, they were even more shocked. Just which clan did that first heavenly layer kid belong to? He did not even inform them. Making them suffer such disastrous losses was really infuriating. Lin Xian ran the fastest. He was the first to leave, so he was very safe. Only when he completely left the Milky Way did he breathe a sigh of relief. F***CK. I wonder what happened to that guy behind me? Very soon, he heard miserable cries from afar, which made his scalp tingle. This group of people dared to look down on him after coming in. They really didn't know what was good for them. Now they knew the consequences of looking down on him. There was another scene at the end of the Milky Way. When Lin Xian arrived, he was stunned. He discovered that there was actually another heaven-reaching tower here. It was just that it was much smaller. Although it was smaller, it was very similar to the heaven-reaching tower outside. Even the patterns on it were exactly the same. Could it be that the secret was in this small heaven-reaching tower? Lin Xian's eyes flickered.
Buzz.
He suddenly turned his head and found that those figures behind him had all arrived. Damn, they were really fast. As expected of a minor saint, Lin Xian was shocked. He did not even have the time to leave before he was stared at by many people. Kid, you actually dared to trick us. Damn, why didn't you warn us? A powerful aura emerged, making Lin Xian feel even more pressured. He quickly activated his great dragon sword spirit to resist the pressure. At the same time, he was thinking about what to do. Yu Bieha walked over and said in a sharp voice, "Which clan's junior is this? Come out and tell me, or I'll kill him." *CK. Lin Xian was instantly enraged. The Rain clan's people were really despicable. He did not know Yu Bieha, but the other party threatened to kill him. He snorted coldly. "You Rain clan don't have the guts to kill me, right?" Everyone was stunned when they heard his words. Who was this young man? Such a big tone. He did not even put the Rain clan in his eyes. "Who are you?" Yu Bieha's face sank. Being threatened by a young man in public made him lose face.
Who am I?
You don't deserve to know. But if you want to know by force, you can try to touch a single hair of mine. I can guarantee that you will definitely regret being born in this world. Lin Xian's face was full of arrogance. His hands were clasped behind his back. His expression was even more arrogant than Diling. Everyone was puzzled. Could it be that this kid really had a heaven-shaking origin? The Rain clan's people were gnashing their teeth. Yu Bieha's face was even darker. To be honest, he really wanted to kill this arrogant kid in front of him with a slap. But at this time, someone exclaimed, "Look, what's that?" They turned around and found that there was an ancient tower in front of them. Wow, an ancient tower. Why is it here? Damn it, there's actually another ancient tower inside this ancient tower. What's going on? Could it be that the secret is inside this ancient tower? Even Yu Bieha temporarily gave up on Lin Xian. He turned around and stared at the ancient tower. His eyes were burning with passion. He knew that this should be the place where the treasure was buried. At this time, the small ancient tower in front of them suddenly emitted light. Something flew out. It looked like a deer's horn, but it also looked like a dragon's horn. It was dark green in color. It bared its fangs and brandished its claws as if it wanted to tear the sky apart. Seeing this thing, many people were puzzled. However, a few minor saints screamed. Chapter 30, 598. It's a Qilin horn. Oh my god. Is there a Qilin buried here? As soon as he said that, everyone gasped. An ancient Qilin had died here. Everyone went crazy. The eyes of those minor saints turned red. The experts of the Rain clan laughed loudly, thinking that their opportunity had arrived. Even Diling was extremely excited. Qilin was a legendary divine beast. It was an existence that was on par with dragons. Moreover, the Qilin clan was an emperor clan in the universe. Their ancestor was a great sovereign. Not only that, the bloodline of the Qilin clan was incomparably heaven-defying. The expert of the Qilin clan who is buried here must have reached an unimaginable level. After his death, his body was full of treasures. Just the Qilin horn alone had heaven-defying effects. If they could obtain it and use it as a catalyst, they would be able to concoct countless divine pills and medicines. At that time, not only would they benefit, but their clans and sects would also benefit greatly. Moreover, they were afraid that the Qilin horn wasn't the only thing that could be obtained here. If they could obtain the corpse of an ancient Qilin expert, they would be rich. If they could obtain the bloodline of the Qilin and obtain the inheritance, they would soar to the sky. How could these people not be excited? Looking at those minor saints whose eyes were red, Lin Xian quickly retreated. He knew that these people would go crazy soon. However, he had to admit that these people were all old monsters. Compared to those young geniuses, they were much calmer. Although the Qilin horn was right in front of them, none of them acted rashly. Seeing this, Lin Xian frowned. Then he sneered. "Since you guys are not moving, I'll give you guys a hand." Thinking of this, he secretly circulated the Tai Chi art and mobilized the power of the death mist. In the sky, the death mist fell and swept towards the Qilin horn. This scene was so sudden that everyone was stunned. But soon they regained their senses. "Damn it! How dare you!" With a roar, a minor saint pulled out a blade of law and slashed the death mist apart. His action didn't matter. The other minor saints also took action one after another. In an instant, everyone was fighting with their lives on the line for the Qilin horn. The Qilin horn floated up and down in front of the heaven-reaching tower. Its body emitted mysterious runes that blocked all attacks. At the same time, a low and terrifying roar came from the small ancient building.
Boom, boom.
The surrounding void continued to shatter. Everyone retreated in fright. At the same time, the death mist above began to spread out. Many strange fish and undead puppets rushed out from the Silver River. All of them charged forward. For a moment, the sky, the earth, and all directions were filled with fatal danger.
Kill.
Roars of rage rang out, and the magical laws of heaven and earth erupted once again as the little saints attacked each other. Lin Xian quickly retreated to the back and silently watched the battle. He was prepared to fish in troubled waters. At this moment, a figure suddenly tore open the void behind him, and a hand reached out. Not good. Lin Xian felt a great sense of danger. Abruptly, he used his movement technique and quickly dodged. He managed to avoid the most fatal attack, but the power of the magical laws still hit him and sent him flying. In the next moment, he coughed out a mouthful of blood, and many cracks appeared on his body. Damn it, such a powerful attack. Who is it? Lin Xian was shocked. He turned his head and found out that the one who attacked him was Yu Bieha. Damn it, it's a fifth heavenly layer saint. Lin Xian's scalp went numb. No wonder the other party was so strong. He was injured with just a raise of his hand. Damn it, this old thing is so despicable. Lin Xian gritted his teeth. He didn't expect the other party to attack him despite his high status. His face was gloomy. So, what if the other party was strong? At most, he would use the last bit of the sky flame to kill the other party. This guy is really despicable. Lin Xian sneered. Yu Bieha narrowed his eyes. You're not dead yet. Interesting. No wonder you dare to come here. Don't think that you can show off in front of me just because you have some family background. You're just an ant. You don't have the qualifications to be arrogant in front of me. So, you can die now. If you kill me, aren't you afraid that the family behind me will kill you? Not to mention you, even the Rain clan will be destroyed. Lin Xian threatened. Yu Bieha sneered. If you die, who will know that I killed you? It's so chaotic now. You might die in the hands of others. You might die in the hands of demonic beasts. You might even die in the fog of death. But no matter what, you won't die in my hands. So, what right does your family have to attack me? Damn it, he's really a cunning old fox. He's really comprehensive. Lin Xian's face was gloomy. He was ready to attack. However, Yu Bieha was faster. Kid, you'll die in the fog of death. When you turn into a pile of bones, even ghosts won't know that you are here. As soon as he finished speaking, a palm of light slapped out, bringing with it a powerful storm. It grabbed Lin Xian and the space he was in, and threw them into the fog of death. This scene happened very quickly. Furthermore, the surrounding experts were unable to react in time. So, no one cared about the life and death of a first celestial layer ant. Yu Bieha sneered after doing all this. Those who were arrogant in front of him would die, without a doubt. If he were to kill the other party, it would be no different from killing an ant. In the fog of death, Lin Xian's face was incomparably strange. If Yu Bieha killed him directly, he would be in great danger. If he was thrown into a group of demonic beasts, he would most likely die. However, Yu Bieha threw him into the fog of death. In this way, he wouldn't be in any danger. After absorbing the energy of the fog of death and circulating the Tai Chi art, Lin Xian's injuries were healed. Damn it, this old man. Lin Xian gritted his teeth. He wouldn't let Yu Bieha go. However, He knew that Ubieha was a fifth celestial layer expert. Moreover, Ubieha had a powerful decree that could contend against a minor saint. It was very unwise for him to confront Ubieha directly. Moreover, it was so dangerous outside. If he went out, he would definitely arouse the suspicion of others. At that time, he would be targeted by more than one person. Perhaps they would capture him and search his soul. Therefore, he decided to stay in the fog of death and observe the situation. The battle outside was very intense. After Ubieha threw Lin Xian into the fog of death, he activated the decree and rushed towards the small tower. He wanted to snatch the Qilin horn. Buzz. At this moment, a strange fish silently rushed over and directly sent Ubieha flying. The remaining hundreds of fish also rushed over to attack. Ubieha quickly pulled away and launched a long-range attack with his law. On the other side, the saints were also engaged in a great battle. The most dazzling ones among them were a few minor saints. There was one more person, Di Ling. Chapter 30, 599. Di Ling was young, and his cultivation base was only at the late 4th heavenly layer. Compared to Ubieha, his cultivation base was slightly lower. But when he attacked, it was indeed very sharp. A blue rune appeared on his body, providing him with a tremendous amount of energy. Everyone had seen this pattern before. It was the pattern on the green coffin. In other words, Di Ling wasn't using his own power. It was the power of the green coffin in his body. That was why he was able to display the power of a minor saint.
Buzz.
Ubieha let out a long whistle. "See, do you still want to fight separately? Do you really want to die here?" Hearing this, the surrounding saints' faces turned ugly. In such a short time, some of them were seriously injured, and some of them had their saint fates absorbed by the death aura. This made their faces turn ugly. "What do you want?" A saint roared. Ubieha said, "It's simple. Let's join hands and destroy everything. Otherwise, we'll definitely die if we fight separately. Not to mention the treasure. All right, let's join hands." Di Ling was the same. Although he had the power of the mysterious coffin, he was still in a dangerous situation. There were forces around him that could threaten him. Therefore, he wanted to join hands with them. It would be much easier to get the Qilin horn after defeating the strange fish and dispelling the death aura. Seeing that everyone agreed, Ubieha's lips curled into a smile.
Great.
"Kid, what are you going to do? Are they going to work together in the fog of death?"
Ghost God asked.
"I've already thought of a way. I won't let them succeed so easily. Especially that Ubieha, I won't let him go." Lin Xian finished speaking, and a cold light burst out from his eyes. He began to circulate the Tai Chi art with all his strength. The Tai Chi art rotated, and the death aura in the surroundings was completely mobilized. Lin Xian had a strange feeling. It was as if the death aura could be controlled by him at will. He tried and found that it was indeed so. This made him wild with joy. In the next moment, the endless death aura shrouded him, making him unrecognizable. His figure changed, and he rushed out with the boundless death aura. Outside, under Ubieha's suggestion, the saints had begun to join hands. Sure enough, their attacking efficiency was greatly increased. Very few of them were injured. This made them go wild with joy. If they put in a little more effort, they would probably succeed. But at this moment, the death mist above his head trembled violently, and a figure walked out. How was this possible? Those people were shocked. Even the eyelids of those minor saints were twitching. Was there someone who could enter the mist of death? It was too inconceivable. Even they didn't dare to do it. Could it be that there was an even more terrifying existence here? Thinking of this, they felt as if they were facing a great enemy. Ubieha's heart was beating wildly. He had just thrown a brat inside. Could it be that the brat came out alive? This was impossible. How could a person in the first celestial layer come out alive? There must be something else. He looked carefully. In the next moment, he saw a black figure, a figure wrapped in an endless aura of death. Like the Grim Reaper, he floated in the air and looked at them coldly. Who was this person? Everyone was frightened by the other party's aura. I'm the guardian of this place, and I don't allow anyone to disturb me. How dare you come in without permission? Now I'll give you a chance to live.
Get lost.
The person wrapped in the black mist was naturally Lin Xian. However, his aura was too terrifying. So much so that no one could recognize him. The guardian of this place. Everyone was shocked. There was still a guardian in the heaven-reaching tower? But how could they be willing to leave just like that? The Qilin horn was right here. If they could get it, they would be able to obtain a great fortune. Moreover, who knew if there were other treasures in the ancient tower? The treasure was right in front of them. These people wouldn't leave just like that. What guardian? Let's go and kill him together. Yu Bieha said coldly. The others also echoed his words. These people started to attack. Lin Xian dodged quickly. At the same time, he mobilized the death mist, and it fell from the sky like a waterfall of death. It scattered these people. Those people were also constantly dodging the death fog. Among them, Yu Bieha said loudly, "Don't be afraid. He doesn't dare to face our attack head-on." That's right. Di Ling also snorted coldly.
So, what if he's a guardian?
I'll kill him all the same. No one can block my path. He was incomparably domineering. The others also recovered their confidence after hearing his words. They quickly attacked. In an instant, the battle became even more terrifying. Lin Xian sneered. He naturally knew that he couldn't fight so many minor saints at the same time with his strength. He didn't plan to do so. What he wanted to do was to prevent these people from forming an alliance and let them fight on their own. This way, he would have the chance to fish in troubled waters. Sure enough, under the interference of the death mist, these people no longer cared about forming an alliance. They began to approach the Qilin horn, wanting to fight for it.
Get lost.
Yu Bieha turned into a light blade and sent the surrounding minor saints flying. He shouted coldly, "You still want to fight for it? Do you have the life to do so? Didn't you say that you want to form an alliance?" Those people roared crazily. Yu Bieha sneered. The strange fish was already chased away. Alliance? Are you crazy? After saying that, he stretched out his big hand and grabbed forward. Asterisk boom. Asterisk his hand was split apart. Di Ling descended from the sky with a green spear in his hand. The qi on it was exactly the same as the ancient bronze coffin. Damn it. How dare you stop me? Yu Bieha roared. Di Ling sneered.
Why?
Are you crazy too? Why can't I come? You Rain clan don't have the qualification to fight for this treasure in front of me. Let me see what makes you so arrogant. Yu Bieha and Di Ling began to fight. The other minor saints wanted to take this opportunity to break out. However, they were all restrained by their respective opponents. For a moment, a chaotic battle broke out. No one was able to break out. It was really a chaotic scene. Lin Xian stood high above, stepping on the death mist, looking at the scene coldly.
Great.
The alliance that had just been formed was disrupted by him again. His gaze swept past those minor saints, then stared at Yu Bieha and Di Ling. At this moment, Yu Bieha was very strong. The decree was obviously very powerful, much stronger than the one in his hand. It was like a sky full of light rain, attacking nonstop. Di Ling's strength was originally inferior to his. At this moment, although he borrowed the power of the coffin in his body, he was still not his opponent. He was blasted away by the decree, his face pale. Yu Bieha looked up to the sky and laughed. What peerless genius! You're nothing in front of me. You'll have to train for another 1,000 years if you want to fight me. Chapter 30, 600. Humph. Yu Bieha, don't be arrogant. I will let you see my trump card. Di Ling shouted angrily, opening his mouth to spit out the cyan coffin. The moment the coffin came out, it emitted a terrifying aura and shattered the surrounding space. Yu Bieha also felt his hair stand on end. Ka, ka, ka. The coffin opened a crack and made an uncomfortable sound. However, nothing came out. In the next moment, Di Ling controlled the cyan coffin and attacked. It was rare to see someone using a coffin as a weapon. Yu Bieha had no choice but to fight with all his strength. At this moment, the decree on Yu Bieha's body turned into a rain of light and surrounded him. At the same time, he released a sky full of laws and bombarded the coffin. On Diling's side, a hand came out of the coffin. The shriveled hand was like a zombie. It shattered the sky full of laws and grabbed Yu Bieha's throat. Not good. Yu Bieha was scared out of his wits and quickly blocked the decree in front of him. The ancient Taoist scripture on the decree blossomed with light and blasted the hand away. At the same time, Yu Bieha opened up the distance. Damn it, there is indeed something. The others were fighting while looking at the situation. When they saw a hand coming out of the cyan coffin, they felt as if they were facing a great enemy. There was indeed a corpse buried in the coffin.
Whoosh.
At this moment, another light flashed and a middle-aged man with a white face and no beard suddenly came out. He arrived near the Qilin horn and was about to take the item. Courting death. Diling roared. He slammed his palm forward, and the cyan coffin was pushed forward. Suddenly, the skeletal hand clawed at the middle-aged man with no facial hair. This middle-aged man was the one who suspected Lin Xian. He was very strong and was said to be the clone of a sacred master. It could be said that he was abnormally terrifying. However, the person hidden in the cyan coffin was not simple either. Therefore, when the two collided, the sky fell and the earth cracked. Terrifying energy and laws swept out in all directions. The two collided, and there was no chance to snatch more. That's great. Yu Bieha laughed loudly. This was an opportunity, and he quickly rushed over. The mausoleum was also moving quickly. This was also an opportunity for him. Both of them were extremely fast. It was just a matter of who was faster and could snatch the Qilin horn. Humph! He coldly shouted. The Rain Clan's decree rushed towards the mausoleum and blocked the path. The mausoleum crazily roared, but it couldn't be broken in a short time. Yu Bieha was about to get the Qilin horn. However, at this time, countless black fog appeared around the Qilin horn and quickly spread out. Death missed. He screamed and quickly retreated. Damn it, who is it?
Who dares to stop me?
He screamed wildly. In the next moment, he saw the figure that was shrouded in black mist like the Grim Reaper appear in front of him again. He blocked his way. Damn it, you dare to stop me? Yu Bieha roared madly. How could he not be angry when such an excellent opportunity was destroyed by the other party? This person was naturally Lin Xian. He sneered. Why wouldn't he dare? Damn it, do you really think I'm afraid of you? Yu Bieha called back the decree and crazily attacked it. The surrounding death mist was extremely terrifying. Even if the other party had the decree, it couldn't be broken in a short time. At this time, the mausoleum was no longer blocked. He rushed to the front of a Qilin horn and quickly attacked the seal on it. He wanted to snatch the Qilin horn. This scene caused countless people to become nervous. Yu Bieha screamed. Why didn't you stop him? He was really crazy. In his opinion, shouldn't the guardian in front of him kill Diling at this time? Why did you stop him? Lin Xian said indifferently. Why should I stop him? I stopped you because I don't like you. What? I can't stop you. Hearing this, Yu Bieha was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. What kind of reason was this? Could it be that he stopped him just because he didn't like him and didn't care about others? Wasn't the other party a guardian? Why did he have to go against him? Then he realized that he was wrong. Not only did the other party go against him, he also went against the Rain Clan. Apart from stopping him, the other party also controlled the death mist to attack the surrounding experts of the Rain Clan. Soon, two of the Rain Clan's experts had withered arms, and the other one's hair turned white. Obviously, they were all deprived of their vitality. Damn it! Yu Bieha screamed crazily. He couldn't understand when he had provoked the other party. Lin Xian sneered and didn't reply. Just based on the fact that the other party wanted to kill him, he wouldn't let him have a good time. On the other side, Diling was overjoyed. Great! This Yu Bieha was so unlucky to be targeted by the Guardian. Now was his chance. The long spear in his hand finally cracked the seal. Then he reached out his hand to grab the Qilin horn. Not good. At this moment, everyone's heart was in their throat. Their faces were ferocious. Especially Yubieha. Was the Qilin horn going to be taken by Diling?
Buzz.
However, at this moment, Diling's hand stopped. Because, above the Qilin horn, there was a black mist that formed a barrier. It completely enveloped the Qilin horn. That black mist was the death mist. The super strong death chi made him feel a fatal threat. His body stiffened. He turned his head and stared at the guardian. You dare to stop me?
Just a little bit more.
Just a second more, and he would have gotten it. However, that 1 second was like the distance between heaven and earth. He couldn't get it at all. He couldn't accept such a huge gap. Lin Xian snorted. Do you really think that I'll let you get the Qilin horn if I'm only targeting the Rain Clan? You're too naive. The scene at this moment was very strange. Those experts and minor saints were all restrained. The two people who had the highest chance of getting the Qilin horn, Yubieha and Diling, were blocked by the same person. It was really hard to believe. Damn it! Damn it! Diling retreated and roared crazily. He summoned the green coffin to his side again. Yubieha, who was beside him, also roared. Damn it! Let's join hands and get rid of him. Otherwise, no one will get it. Indeed, they found out that this guardian was very strange. He seemed to be able to control the death mist, which was a fatal threat to them. Countless eyes fell on Lin Xian, making Lin Xian feel pressured. However, he sneered and didn't care. If he was targeted by so many minor saints in other places, he would have died. But here, he was not afraid at all. Even if he couldn't defeat these people, who would dare to catch him if he went into the death mist? Chapter 30:601. Suddenly, the Qilin horn let out a roar, and a Qilin phantom appeared on it. Then, it tore through the void and fled outside. What's going on? Everyone was stunned, including Lin Xian. He did not expect the Qilin horn to run away on its own. Chase after it. The others were overjoyed. As long as they left the ancient tower and went to the outside world, their strength would not be restricted. They would not have to worry about the threat of the death mist. They tore through the void and quickly chased after it. At this moment, the numerous powerful beings who had been present had all disappeared without a trace. Only Lin Xian was still here. It had left. Lin Xian frowned. This was indeed beyond his expectations. However, he looked at the small ancient tower in front of him. Although the Qilin horn had flown away, the ancient tower was still there. What secrets were hidden inside? At that moment, he shuddered because he heard that voice again. Yin and Yang reappear. I want to fight immortals. It's that voice again. Lin Xian was too shocked. In the next moment, he saw the ancient tower suddenly shake, and then a force enveloped him. He felt the world spinning, and he was sucked into the small ancient tower. After entering, Lin Xian found that it was very simple inside. There was only an empty hall, but there was a skeleton inside. The skeleton was very hideous. It was the skeleton of a Qilin. Lin Xian was shocked. It was definitely the skeleton of a Qilin, but it was missing a horn. It should be the one that broke through the void. Crack, crack, crack. Suddenly, the Qilin skeleton made cracking sounds. Lin Xian took 2 steps back, as if he was facing a great enemy. It was still alive. It was actually still alive. This was too unbelievable. This was an ancient powerhouse from so many years ago. Was it still alive? I can feel the aura of Yin and Yang. The Qilin skeleton turned its head and stared at Lin Xian. In the next moment, it let out an earth-shattering sound. You're also abandoned by immortals. Abandoned by immortals? What did that mean? Lin Xian was stunned. He didn't get an explanation. The Qilin corpse suddenly opened its mouth and spat out a crimson ball of light. Qilin blood essence. Lin Xian was stupefied. Such a mass of blood essence. How much energy did it contain? I'm giving it to you now. That loud voice sounded again. Lin Xian was stunned. Give it to him? She wanted to give it to him? Why was he not a member of the Qilin clan? Why would the other party give him such a huge treasure? Could it be because he controlled the power of both yin and yang? Or could it be that he was the person with immortal energy that the other party spoke of?
He didn't know about any of this.
The next moment, he was enveloped by a huge amount of blood essence, and he felt extreme pain all over his body. It was as if he had been burned by a raging flame. This feeling was really too shocking. He had a divine body, so what kind of flame could hurt him? Unless it was something as terrifying as the starry sky flame. After an unknown amount of time, Lin Xian finally felt the blood around him disappear. The clothes on his body were all burned to ashes. He stood there, incomparably shocked. This power. He felt that his body seemed to have changed, and his physique was even stronger than before. With a wave of his hand, an ancient mirror appeared. Lin Xian looked at it and gasped. At this moment, there was a black Qilin tattoo on his body. It was as if a black Qilin was lying on his body. It was really unbelievable. This physique was definitely not inferior to that of a fourth heaven sage. Lin Xian was really shocked. Moreover, this happened in the blink of an eye. He guessed that this black Qilin totem was definitely not that simple. As he continued to cultivate in the future, it would become even stronger. Thank you, Senior. Lin Xian looked at the huge Qilin corpse and bowed respectfully.
Don't thank me.
You are my successor. From now on, you have inherited my will. One day, you will walk the same path as me. The soul of the ancient Qilin clan gradually dissipated. Then, he used the last of his strength to send Lin Xian out of the small ancient building.
Buzz.
Lin Xian appeared outside again. The small ancient building disappeared into the fog of death. Lin Xian's mind moved, and a piece of clothing appeared.
He put it on.
Everything was like a dream. He had actually obtained the Qilin clan's totem tattoo. He had inherited the other party's will and stepped on the other party's path. What was going on? Lin Xian did not understand, but he had a feeling. His future path would be even more difficult. There was actually someone here. Where was the ancient building? Why did it disappear? Suddenly, two voices could be heard. Lin Xian looked up and saw that two sages had turned back. The two sages were shocked. Who are you? It was that kid in the first heaven.
They were too surprised.
At this moment, Lin Xian's body was no longer covered by the fog of death, so they naturally recognized him. How is this possible? Weren't you killed by Yubieha? Damn kid, what's going on? How are you still alive? Tell me your secret. Also, where is the small ancient building? Was it taken away by you? The two of them had killing intent in their eyes. One of them was a fourth heaven sage, and the other was an early stage fifth heaven sage. Their auras were very powerful. Under normal circumstances, a first heaven sage was really an ant in front of them. However, Lin Xian sneered coldly. He didn't know what was good for him. He did not say anything. He directly mobilized the surrounding fog of death and quickly attacked. Ants, how dare you attack us? The two of them sneered, their eyes filled with disdain. Even if they stood there and let the other party attack, the other party would not be able to break free from their defense. But soon, they screamed. Xia tore the void apart and wanted to escape. The reason for that was because they had discovered that the death fog in the surroundings had started to sink down like black clouds. The power of death made their hair stand on end. Damn it! Could it be that you can mobilize the power of the fog of death? You're the guardian from before. The two of them instantly had such a thought. Since they had guessed it, they could not let the two of them live. Lin Xian activated the Tai Chi Sutra with all his might. The surrounding fog of death was completely mobilized by him. It formed a cage of death that enveloped the two of them. Break out of the encirclement. The two sages roared crazily and attacked as if they had gone mad. One of the fifth heaven sages even charged toward Lin Xian. If they captured that kid, all the dangers would be resolved.
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Terrifying palms blotted out the sky and covered the earth as they grabbed toward Lin Xian. However, they were entangled by the fog of death that filled the sky. Let me do it. The fourth heaven sage seized the opportunity and rushed over, landing a punch on Lin Xian's body. Chapter 3602. What are you doing? Don't kill him. The fifth heaven saint roared as he resisted. The fourth heaven saint said, Don't worry, I'm just going to break his body and capture his soul. At that time, he will definitely be our slave. He smiled ferociously. But soon, they were stunned, because they saw Lin Xian flying back. How was that possible? His eyes almost popped out. That was his punch. His opponent would definitely be torn into pieces. However, his opponent didn't die. He only spat out a mouthful of blood. It was really unbelievable. Lin Xian's face was gloomy, but he was extremely excited.
Great.
His physique was able to withstand the attack of a level 4 celestial layer sage. It was really incredible. His divine body bloomed like a golden god of war. Moreover, there was a black Qilin tattoo on his golden body. A Qilin tattoo.
Are you from the Qilin clan?
The two expert scalps went numb. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He formed a seal with his palms, and the death mist was activated to the extreme. The two experts screamed crazily. They didn't care about anything else and wanted to break out. But in the end, all their vitality was taken away by the death mist. The two corpses fell, and their souls were completely destroyed. Lin Xian took the storage rings from them. Then he threw the two corpses into the death mist. The next moment, his figure flashed and rushed out. Not long after, Lin Xian left the ancient tower and came outside. He found that there was a fierce battle going on outside. Countless experts and little saints were fighting each other. The decree of the Yubieha and Jiangyu clan was activated to the extreme. The ancient characters of the Taoist scripture emitted light, and a torrential rain swept across the 9 heavens. This was the reign of law. It was extremely terrifying. With the support of the decree, it could even threaten a minor saint. The other person was Di Ling. He had completely opened the coffin, and a mummified figure walked out. It was very terrifying. There was a pair of dark purple wings on the back of the mummified corpse. It was unusually ferocious, and the world trembled because of it. The other person was a middle-aged man with a pale face and no beard. His aura had completely changed. He was like a divine king that ruled the world. Every time he raised his hand, a terrifying aura filled the air. These people were all fighting over the Qilin horn. As for the Qilin horn, it was hovering between them. There was an image of a Qilin on it, as well as a roaring sound. After Lin Xian came out, he hid in the void and silently watched the battle. Are they still fighting over it? He had no intention of making a move. This was because he already knew that this Qilin horn was a bait thrown out by the ancient Qilin powerhouse. His purpose was to lure these people away so that he could meet with him and teach him the Qilin totem tattoo. Although the Qilin horn was also precious, compared to his Qilin totem, it appeared not worth mentioning. The battle ahead was getting more and more terrifying. The roars of the Qilin could be heard from time to time. At this moment, a voice rang out between heaven and earth. It was indeed the voice of the Qilin. It was a Qilin horn. The voice was filled with excitement. 19 Junior Brother, your luck is really good. You've just come out and you've already encountered a treasure like the Qilin horn. This time, it was a woman's voice. It was abnormally sweet, causing one's heart to sway. Senior sister, help me get this Qilin horn. It's very useful to me. All right, I really don't know what to do with you. The conversation between the two resounded between heaven and earth. Everyone was puzzled. Who is it? The faces of the minor saints changed. Who dares to covet the Qilin horn? At this moment, a small purple cauldron suddenly appeared and covered the Qilin horn. Countless Tao runes appeared on the surface of the cauldron, forming a seal. It's mine. The woman's voice rang out, causing the faces of the surrounding people to change drastically. What the hell? Who is this person? She sealed the Qilin horn so easily. Cold sweat broke out on their backs. One should know that so many experts had been fighting for such a long time, but none of them managed to get it. Instead, a woman who appeared out of nowhere got it. Damn it! Di Ling roared. The mummy in front of him grabbed the void with both of its hands, and the space within 100,000 miles was shattered instantly. On the other side, the middle-aged man and Yu Bieha had also made their moves, destroying a part of heaven and earth. Who's there?
Come out, you sneaky bastard.
How dare you snatch the thing that I want? Di Ling roared towards the sky. Yu Bieha and the middle-aged man with a pale face wore a cold expression. Which one of them wasn't an indomitable expert? How could they endure being attacked by someone? Finally, two figures emerged from the shattered void. Everyone's gaze was fixed on them. Even Lin Xian had a look of surprise on his face. He hadn't expected such a turn of events. The two figures were a man and a woman. They wore white robes embroidered with auspicious clouds with golden threads. The man was handsome, and the woman was beautiful. Her temperament was excellent, like a fairy. The two of them were knocked out of the void, but they weren't injured. There was a red ribbon circling around them, forming a light screen. The two of them were still wearing smiles under the gaze of countless saints. It was as if they didn't put the surrounding experts in their eyes. You two don't know what's good for you. How dare you snatch the thing that I want? Di Ling was the first to speak. His eyes were filled with cold, killing intent. What's wrong with the thing that you want? The young man also looked over, not backing down. The beautiful woman's eyes moved as she looked at Di Ling. Then, she looked at the green coffin and the withered zombie. Suddenly, she revealed a trace of surprise. You should be Di Ling, right? I didn't expect you to obtain a demonic corpse. No wonder you're so arrogant. Since you know who I am, you still dare to snatch my thing. I can only say that you're very bold. Di Ling snorted. He didn't expect his secret to be seen through by the other party. The mysterious woman smiled and ignored him. She turned her head and looked over. The decree of the Rain Clan. You're a member of the Rain Clan. Yu Bieha also gasped. Who was this person? She actually knew their identity like the back of her hand. It seemed that the world was right. Then what about this person? The man beside her asked. The beautiful woman turned her head and stared at the middle-aged man with a pale face. I don't know which senior's clone you are. You actually came to snatch the Qilin horn. Why don't you give it to us? Everyone was in an uproar. This powerful middle-aged man was actually just a clone? Yu Bieha and Di Ling were also stunned. The middle-aged man's pupils shrunk. He didn't expect that the other party could see through his identity.
Who are you?
He asked coldly. We're from Wushuang City. The two of them said proudly. Upon hearing this, everyone was stunned. Even the minor saints sucked in a breath of cold air. It turned out that they were from the Saint Realm. No wonder they were so arrogant and didn't put them in their eyes. Chapter 3603. In the void, Lin Xian was also surprised. The people of Peerless City. The people of Peerless City were really strong. The two of them were not afraid of facing so many minor saints and experts. Furthermore, the purple cauldron and the red rainbow were both extremely mysterious. They were both extremely terrifying weapons. Is this the strength of Peerless City? So they are from Peerless City. The middle-aged man's eyes flickered. No wonder they could see through his identity. The man from Peerless City said, Since you know our identity, why don't you let us have the Qilin horn? Everyone's expression changed as soon as they heard his words. To be honest, they were not willing to give up the Qilin horn. Those who were weaker began to retreat. They did not dare to fight with a disciple of the Saint Realm. But for someone like Di Ling, he was indeed unconvinced. Yu Bieha's face was gloomy. The other minor saints were also dissatisfied. So, what if they were from Peerless Saint Realm? They wanted to snatch the treasure from their hands with just their identity. Wasn't that too arrogant? No matter what, they were still experts who ruled over a region. If this was spread out, how would they be able to maintain their foothold in the future? If you want the Qilin horn, you have to get through me first. Di Ling stood out. Yu Bieha did not retreat. The middle-aged man stood in the void with his hands behind his back. He did not have the intention to attack, but he did not retreat either. The other 3 minor saints also stood in one direction, eyeing covetously. Although you are from Peerless City, so what? This is not Peerless City's territory. That's right. Do you think the 2 of you can fight against so many of us? Seeing that these experts were not willing to retreat, the crowd was in an uproar. However, the beautiful woman smiled sweetly. I definitely can't fight against so many of you. Although I can't, my senior brother can. Then she said softly, Senior brother, you should do it. These people are not giving face to Peerless City at all. Is there someone else? The scene shocked everyone. The little saints also frowned and looked around. At this moment, a figure appeared in the sky. That person was also a man. He wore a white robe, and his appearance was not overly handsome. However, he was unforgettable. When he saw this person, Lin Xian was stunned. It's him. He was incomparably surprised. He didn't expect to meet Yi Xuan here. However, could Yi Xuan really contend against so many minor saints? Lin Xian was very worried. You want to fight us with just the 3 of you? Those little saints sneered. The corner of Di Ling's mouth was also filled with disdain. You're wrong, not the 3 of us, but me. That man walked out. His gaze was disdainful and carried with it an unparalleled sense of dominance. Anyone who was not convinced could make a move. What an arrogant attitude. Did he want to fight against 6 masters by himself? I want to see what a young junior like you can be so arrogant about. An old man walked out. He was a true little saint. His strength was very strong, and he was very experienced. Kid, as long as you can block one of my punches, I will acknowledge your strength. The old man punched out with his fist. Suddenly, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The surrounding void shook. Endless Dharma shot up into the sky. From afar, it looked like a meteor shower was falling from the sky. This was just the beginning. The Dharma wrapped around a fist and directly blasted over. Wherever it passed, everything was turned into ashes. This punch seemed to be able to destroy a world. Everyone felt their scalp tingle and their hair stand on end when they felt this power. This was the attack of a little saint. It was so terrifying that not many people present could block it. Would this newcomer be able to withstand it? Even Lin Xian's heart was in his throat. However, the man was not afraid at all. He said coldly, if you can block one of my punches, I will admit defeat. With a wave of his hand, a leaf appeared in his hand. It was a red leaf that was unusually exquisite. There was a sword drawn on the leaf. It was so sharp that it looked like it was going to pierce the sky. Asterisk buzz. Asterisk the red leaf fluttered and streaked forward with light. Wherever it passed, the sky was silently split into 2 halves. Wasn't this guy too arrogant? Facing the attack of a little saint, he only threw out a leaf.
Who did he think he was?
Many people sneered. Asterisk boom boom boom. Asterisk the sound of the sky collapsing and the earth cracking was heard. The disdainful expression on everyone's face disappeared and was replaced by a touch of horror. This was because the little saint's fist was shattering rapidly and the magical laws that filled the sky were split apart by a single red leaf. Asterisk buzz. Asterisk one of the little saint's arms was chopped off in an instant. It was too fast. In the blink of an eye, the red leaf had arrived. Blood splattered, and a scream was heard. One of the little saint's arms fell to the ground. The little saint was trembling. His face was full of horror. How was this possible? The others were also dumbfounded. They could not believe that the man had injured a little saint with just a leaf. It was too unbelievable. That was a little saint, one of the top experts in this place. But now he was injured by someone so easily. Yu Bie's face changed drastically. Di Ling's pupils also shrank. The middle-aged man with a pale face seemed to have thought of something. The other little saints screamed. A red leaf? You are Fu Hongya from Wushuang City. What? He is Fu Hongya. Yu Bie screamed in fear. Di Ling's scalp went numb. The others did not know, but they knew how terrifying Fu Hongya was. That's right. The man was Fu Hongya. Lin Xian had seen him before. So now Lin Xian was also dumbfounded. When he saw Fu Hongya on Venus, he was just a fourth heavenly layer saint. That was why he was worried that Fu Hongya would not be able to fight against so many little saints. But now, he saw that it was not the case. Fu Hongya was too strong. He was ridiculously strong. Moreover, he found that his cultivation base had become hazy. She could not see through it at all. What was going on? Could it be that he was hiding his cultivation base? At this moment, He Shan transmitted his voice. He might not be going to the first astral realm with his real body, but only a clone. What clone? Lin Xian was stunned. How could a clone have the cultivation base of a fourth heavenly layer saint? Isn't that unbelievable? Then it should be his real body now. What cultivation base had he reached? Was he a fifth heavenly layer saint or a real little saint? He did not know, but with his strength he could definitely kill a little saint easily. Do you still want to fight? Fu Hongya stood in the air and asked indifferently. The man and woman behind him smiled. I admit defeat. The injured little saint gritted his teeth and said. He was incomparably angry and wanted to fight with his life. But when he knew the identity of his opponent, he gave up the idea. If he fought with his life on the line, he would probably die a horrible death. Chapter 3604. Let's give up. The other two minor saints shook their heads and retreated. Fu Hongya nodded and looked at Di Ling, Yu Bieha, and the middle-aged man. Do you three still want to fight? Hee. So it's Fu Hongya from Wushuang City. Since that's the case, I'll give you some face. The pale-faced middle-aged man laughed heartily before turning into a streak of light and leaving. Oh, the old monster's clone finally left. The beautiful lady behind him heaved a sigh of relief. Fu Hongya didn't care at all. He stared at Di Ling and Yu Bieha. What about you two? Do you want to fight with me or give me the Qilin horn? Countless gazes fell on Di Ling and Yu Bieha, making them feel even more pressured. To be honest, they were shocked and frightened. At the same time, they were angry and unwilling. What made them frightened was that they were facing the legendary Fu Hongya. They didn't dare to fight with him at all. Didn't they see that the other minor saints had retreated? However, they were arrogant people. One of them was an expert from the Rain clan who held great power. No one dared to provoke him. The other was a young genius who dared to go against him. Now that these two arrogant people had to lower their heads, it was worse than killing them. Looks like you two don't want to lower your heads. Then let's fight. Fu Hongya said indifferently. He took out a red leaf. Suddenly, Yu Bieha and Di Ling trembled. They felt a chill down their spines. Fight with him? To be honest, they didn't want to. Young Master Fu misunderstood us. How could we snatch young master's things? Yu Bieha said with a smile. He was also an old fox, although he was unwilling to accept it. Although he didn't want to lose, it was his first principle. It seemed like Fu Hongya had to lower his head. The crowd exclaimed. Now, only Di Ling was left. Di Ling didn't say anything, but he still took 2 steps back. This showed his attitude. Seeing this, Fu Hongya kept the leaf and waved his hand, grabbing the purple cauldron. He formed a few seals and threw it to the man. 19th junior brother, this is for you. Thank you, senior brother. The man was very happy. The 3 of them turned into streams of light, broke through the void, and quickly disappeared. When they were completely gone, the surrounding people breathed a sigh of relief. Di Ling was the first to react. Damn it! He turned into a beam of light and quickly returned to the ancient tower. Even though the Qilin horn was gone, there was still a small ancient pavilion. If he went in, he might be able to obtain even more treasures. Behind him, Yu Bieha also moved quickly. The pale-faced, beardless middle-aged man and the other little saints also pierced through the void and entered the ancient tower. The others followed suit. There was no way they would miss out on the treasures that followed. Lin Xian smiled and shook his head when he saw this scene. He was afraid that these people were destined to be disappointed. Because the greatest treasure in the ancient tower had already been obtained by him. At the same time, what surprised him was that Fu Hongya was really too strong. She alone was able to suppress so many experts, and they didn't dare to raise their heads. Wushuang City. His eyes shone brightly. It seemed that he had to join such a sacred city. Lin Xian shifted his body and continued to hide in the void as he stealthily followed behind. He wanted to see the expressions of these people. Sure enough, when he arrived, he saw that those people were roaring crazily. Their faces turned green. Damn it, how could it be like this? This is impossible. Where's the treasure? Di Ling went crazy. He was so angry that his head was smoking. Beside him, Yu Bihe's face was also extremely ugly. The few little saints didn't pay much attention to their surroundings. They were fighting in all directions, causing the void to tremble. They found that the small ancient tower had disappeared. Damn it, did someone take it away from him? They were about to go crazy. Someone took advantage of the time when they were fighting for the Qilin horn and quietly took away the small ancient tower. This made their hearts bleed. Everyone knew that the treasure in the small ancient tower was definitely more precious than the Qilin horn. However, they guessed that it would be harder to obtain it. That was why they prepared to take the Qilin horn first, and then slowly conquer the small ancient tower. However, they didn't expect that the Qilin horn would be taken away by someone else. When they returned, the most precious ancient tower had also disappeared. Damn it! Damn it! Di Ling roared. He had never felt so aggrieved before. Don't let me find out who took away what I want. Otherwise, I'll go to the 9 heavens and 10 earths and tear that person into pieces. Yu Bihe's expression was also cold. The few little saints' faces were dark. The middle-aged man with a pale face shook his head and left without saying anything. After him, the other little saints also left one after another. There were still some people who didn't give up and quickly searched around. However, they found nothing. There were also some places, such as the Death Mist, that they didn't dare to explore. Therefore, when they saw that there were no more treasures around, they didn't want to stay here. After all, the Death Mist was a big threat. In the end, Di Ling also left quickly. When Yu Bihe turned around and left, his eyebrows suddenly twitched. He felt a wave coming from the void. The wave was very familiar to him. However, he couldn't remember where he had sensed it before. Nevertheless, he still kept an eye on it. He followed the crowd and left. After about half a day, he came back alone. His gaze rarely traveled in all directions. When he carefully examined his surroundings, he revealed a puzzled expression. I can't sense it. It shouldn't be. I clearly sensed a familiar aura. What is it? Are you looking for me? At this moment, a voice sounded. Yu Bihe was startled. He quickly turned around, and the light of the law burst out. At the same time, the law decree surrounded him as if he was facing a great enemy. At the next moment, he was stunned. Damn it, it's you. He was completely stunned because he saw a person, and it was a very familiar person. However, he couldn't believe it. Isn't he dead? The person in front of me is the first heaven ant. Was he the one who threw him into the death mist? How is that possible? He's still alive? Is he a ghost? Thinking of this, he sneered. Kid, do you think that you can threaten me after turning into a ghost after death? Today, I'll destroy your soul. With a wave of his hand, boundless laws soared into the sky like a vast ocean, surging towards the sky. This Yu Bihe was really strong. Even a 5th heaven saint wouldn't be able to block this attack. Lin Xian was already prepared. When Yu Bihe raised his hand, he instantly moved away. He dodged the attack and appeared in another place. You're quite fast, but do you think you can dodge it? Yu Bihe sneered. He raised his hand and prepared to attack again. Chapter 3605. Lin Xian's expression was cold. He stepped on the ground and stared coldly at the other party. Do you really think that you can kill me? Fine, I'll let you taste the taste of despair today. The Taiji diagram in his body rotated, and a Taiji energy burst out. His body shone brightly. This was the energy of the sun. At the same time, he activated the energy of the moon. The death mist in the surroundings was mobilized by him. How is this possible? You're not dead yet? Yu Bieha was shocked when he saw his opponent's dazzling physique. The next moment, he was even more shocked. What did he see? The death mist was surging towards him. Damn it! Can he control the death mist? He was stunned. What kind of technique is this? Even a minor saint can't do it. How did he do it? This kid is too strange. Moreover, his body contains endless secrets. Humph, I'll definitely ask you once I catch you. He turned into a ray of light and instantly shot through the void. In the blink of an eye, he arrived in front of Lin Xian. Kid, go to hell. A huge hand grabbed Lin Xian's head, trying to capture his soul and search it. Buzz. Lin Xian suddenly disappeared. The void where he was at shattered. The next moment, he walked out from another place. I've said it before. You can't kill me. Today, I'll let you experience despair. A spatial divine ability. Yu Bieha's face turned gloomy. His opponent's movement technique was very strange. It was as if he had teleported. That's right. Lin Xian had used a spatial divine ability, the void escape technique. He was getting more and more familiar with it now. The next moment, the light on his body became even more resplendent. The death mist shrouded his body. He looked extremely strange. What? You're the guardian? Yu Bieha could no longer stay calm after seeing this. The previous scenes appeared in his mind. He finally knew why the previous guardian was targeting him. So, it's this kid in front of me. Run. That was what Yu Bieha thought. He couldn't defeat his opponent in the previous battle. He didn't dare to resist the death mist. He had to go back and report to his family so that they could send out many experts to explore this place. He wanted to thoroughly uncover the secrets of this place. Breaking through the void, he took a step inside, wishing to leave. Do you think you can leave if you want to? Lin Xian snorted coldly and waved his fist. He mobilized his precepts and activated the death fog with all his might. With a single strike, the void was shattered. Yu Bieha was shaken out. His face was pale and full of disbelief. His opponent was simply too strong. Damn it, I refuse to accept this. Brat, if you have the ability, don't use the power of the death mist. Haha, you still have the face to say this? Your cultivation level is 4 heavenly layers higher than mine, and you actually dare to say that you're not convinced. If you have the guts to suppress your cultivation and fight me at the same level, I'll beat you into a pulp. I'm so angry. Yu Bieha was mad with anger. He didn't dare to fight and could only run away. He tried to break out of the encirclement several times but was beaten back by Lin Xian. Damn brat, I'll fight it out with you. Yu Bieha roared and opened the decree. He spat out 3 mouthfuls of blood on the decree. Immediately, the ancient Tao scripture character bloomed with dazzling light. A red light pierced through the void like a blood sword, piercing towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian felt a sense of crisis. However, he sneered and opened his mouth to spit out a decree. The decree became bigger and opened. The ancient Tao scripture on it also bloomed with light, although it was not as good as the one on the other side. However, it was enough. In an instant, the blood-red light was blocked. Then, the remaining power was shattered by Su Cheng's death fog. Rain Clan's decree? It's just Sozo. Damn it, how is this possible? You also have a decree. What's going on? Yu Bieha was completely stunned, because he found out that the thing that his opponent took out was also a decree. Moreover, it was exactly the same as his. How could his opponent have a decree like this?
Who are you? Who are you?
He roared crazily. When you go to hell, the king of hell will tell you. Lin Xian did not intend to hold back. The death fog that covered the sky and earth rolled over. The entire sky was dyed black.
Ah!
Damn brat, I'll tear you to pieces. Yu Bieha roared crazily in the fog. However, it quickly turned into a frightened scream. It's a misunderstanding. It's a misunderstanding between us. Spare my life. I'll definitely not attack you in the future. I'll give you all my treasures. Please spare me. However, it was still useless. In the end, he roared, I'm not satisfied. Then there was no more sound. When the fog dissipated, there was only a pile of bones on the ground. Lin Xian took out the decree from the pile of bones and threw it into the great sage tower to let the starry sky fire refine it. Then, he took away the other party's storage room. With a sneer, he left the sky connecting tower. It seemed that it was time to go into seclusion and cultivate. Lin Xian thought. After experiencing so much, he needed to properly refine himself. Especially when it came to the Qilin tattoo, he needed to properly ponder over it. Therefore, he prepared to find a place. Originally, he planned to leave the Azurewood Tower and go to another world to cultivate. However, not long after he flew out of the sky-connecting tower, he felt a piercing pain on his body. It was as if a needle had stabbed him. He tore his clothes and found that the Qilin tattoo on his body had appeared again. A mysterious power flowed on it. Damn it! This thing is going to show its power. I need to quickly refine it. Therefore, he could only find a place on the Azurewood Star to cultivate in seclusion. He found a place far away from the sky-connecting tower. Lin Xian entered the mountain range and built a cave. Then, he covered it with a formation and began to cultivate in seclusion. The next few days were really torture for him. The energy released by the Qilin tattoo was too terrifying. It was as if the starry sky fire was burning him. However, Lin Xian had experienced countless hardships. Therefore, although it was painful, he could still endure it. In the end, he used all the resources he had obtained during this period. For example, the millions of deity crystals and all kinds of heavenly treasures. He had obtained all of these from the storage rings of countless experts he had killed. At this moment, he did not hold back and used all of them. At this moment, the news on the Azurewood Star had also spread. The people of many worlds had learned about it. Originally, they wanted to search for treasures. However, when they asked, they found that the treasures were gone. Moreover, there was the death mist in the ancient tower, so many people gave up on the idea. Of course, there were also some bold experts who were prepared to come and explore again.
Buzz.
A spirit ship cut through the wind and landed on the Azurewood Star. A beautiful woman walked out of it. This woman was too beautiful and very cute. Her big eyes were like crescent moons. As soon as she came down, she looked around. She heard that the sky-connecting tower had appeared here. She wondered where it was. Forget it. I'd better look for it in the entire world. She flew quickly. After flying for less than an incense stick's time, he came to a stop. In a mountain range not far away, a violent rumble suddenly sounded. Then, the world changed drastically. Chapter 3606. Countless dark clouds appeared in the sky, and bolts of lightning the size of mountains struck down. It was as if the entire sky had been torn open. It was a series of explosions. There were even roars that resounded through the 9 heavens. But soon, those sounds disappeared. This made the beautiful girl very puzzled. The roar just now seemed to be that of a dragon. There was also another sound. Although it was not a dragon's roar, its power was not weak at all. Heavens, could it be that 2 divine beasts of heaven and earth were fighting here? Right? It sounded a little like the voice of a Qilin. It was said that a Qilin horn appeared in the ancient tower of heaven. It was possible that a powerhouse of the Qilin race was buried there. The voice of a Qilin appeared here again. Could there be a connection? The girl thought for a moment, then looked in that direction. However, the images and sounds of heaven and earth had disappeared. Something was wrong. It should be an array formation. She went over and found an array formation. She tore a corner of the array formation and saw the violent scene inside. The girl stuck out her tongue and ran into the distance. She would wait for the images to disappear before looking again. She waited for 7 days and 7 nights. Finally, the violent energy disappeared. The girl tore open the array formation and rushed in. Lin Xian walked out of the shattered mountain range. He was very depressed, and his body was still emitting black smoke. Damn it, this lightning tribulation was too terrifying, wasn't it? He almost didn't make it. However, what made him happy was that he had broken through. He had broken through to the 2nd heaven. He had finally broken through to another realm. Now his strength had undergone an earth-shattering change. His physique was equivalent to that of a fourth heaven sage. He was even confident that he could withstand a few blows from a fifth heaven sage. His strength had increased, and his comprehension of the laws had also increased. However, the only thing that made him depressed was his current appearance. At this moment, black Qilin tattoos were all over his body, including his face. Therefore, it was impossible to see his original appearance. Instead, he looked like a walking Qilin. How could he go out like this? Would he be mistaken for a divine beast and be captured to be refined into pills? Lin Xian shook his head. He sensed that it would take some time for these Qilin tattoos to completely return to normal. Therefore, he decided to stay in the deep mountains for the time being. The formation was torn open. Suddenly, Lin Xian was stunned. He discovered that someone had torn open his formation and directly entered.
Who was it?
Did they attract experts so quickly? He wanted to leave. However, he soon saw a beautiful figure streaking across the sky and arriving before him. Wow, is this a Qilin? And it was a black Qilin. Heavens, it really is a divine beast. A very pleasant voice was heard. Upon hearing this voice, Lin Xian was stunned. He abruptly turned around, revealing an expression of disbelief. He was completely stunned. He saw a young girl. She was wearing an emerald green dress. Her smile was like a flower, and her eyes were bright. She was exceptionally cute. The girl stood in the air like a little fairy, blinking her big eyes.
Something's not right.
Could it be that the Qilin in the human world hasn't fully developed yet? Forget it, I don't care anymore. I'll bring these 2 Qilin horns back to refine pills. The girl seemed very excited. Listen up, hand over your Qilin horn, and I promise I won't beat you up. The girl walked over with an adorable look on her face. Lin Xian was completely stunned. In the next moment, he walked over, opened his arms, and ran forward. I missed you so much, little girl. Why are you here? In an instant, he hugged the beautiful girl. The girl was given a fright. A terrifying power surged out of her body and directly bounced Lin Xian away. With a boom, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The laws of nature filled the air, and the great Tao surged. A terrifying crack appeared in the sky. Lin Xian's qi and blood surged in his body. The girl's face darkened. You're too dishonest, aren't you? How dare you take advantage of me? Do you have a death wish? I only wanted your pair of Qilin horns, but I plan to beat you up now. You've grown so quickly, little girl. Lin Xian stood up, patted the dirt off his body, and walked over again. Stop right there. What do you want? If you come any closer, I won't hold back. Purple light surged out of the girl's body. It was like purple clouds that surrounded her. She was wearing purple battle armor, and the great Tao surged around her. It's me. You know my name.
Who are you?
I'm not familiar with the Qilin race. The girl was very wary. Lin Xian squinted. The girl in front of him was none other than Xinjingqiu. He did not expect to meet her here. Furthermore, it seemed like her abilities had improved by leaps and bounds. She did not recognize him. Lin Xian was stunned at first. After that, he remembered that his entire body was covered in Qilin tattoos. He looked like a divine beast. Who would recognize me? He suddenly had an idea to tease this little girl. Of course I know you. I've known you since a long time ago. I've liked you for a long time. Pfft. Who do you think you are? Let me tell you, I have a husband. My husband is an indomitable genius. If you dare to have any ideas about me, I'll ask my husband to beat you up. Is that so? Is your husband very powerful? Lin Xian was amused. Xinjingqiu snorted coldly. Of course. Don't think that you can be arrogant just because you're from the Qilin race. Let me tell you, my husband beat up many of the Qilin race's geniuses back then. Not to mention the Qilin race, he even beat up the geniuses of the Dragon race and the Phoenix race. So, hand over the Qilin horn obediently. If you dare to have any ideas about me, you're really dead. If your husband is so powerful, where is he? Lin Xian asked. As she spoke until here, the little girl's expression suddenly darkened. Yes, he should be in the first astral realm. However, he'll be here soon. So, you'd better behave yourself. When he saw the little girl's gloomy expression, Lin Xian could not help but say, Chiu, it's me. I told you not to call me that. Shun Jingqiu snorted coldly. However, she was soon stunned. Wait, why does this voice sound so familiar? Could it be Brother Lin? No, this is a Qilin. She's obviously lying to me. It seems like you've done a thorough investigation on me. You even dare to imitate my husband's voice. If I don't beat you up today, I won't be able to live. The little girl snorted coldly. With a wave of her hand, a purple cloud flew over. The laws of heaven and earth surged continuously. Lin Xian sighed. He also knew that he could not return to his normal appearance. If he wanted the little girl to believe him, he could only use some tricks. However, he was not in a hurry. He wanted to test the little girl's recent cultivation progress. He also used his divine ability to fight with his opponent. The two of them exchanged more than 1,000 blows. Lin Xian was very surprised. The current Shun Jingqiu could be said to be very powerful. Chapter 3607. She was at the third heaven of the Sage Realm and had all sorts of laws and mystiques. Furthermore, it seemed like she still had some trump cards that she had not used yet. This made him extremely surprised. The speed of the other party's growth really shocked him. At the same time, he was also overjoyed. Shun Jingqiu's improvement was great news to him. He knew that it was time to reunite with her, so he did not attack again. Instead, he roared into the sky. His aura rose infinitely, and streaks of sword qi shot into the sky. Those were all dragon-shaped sword qi, and they were like tens of thousands of dragons roaming between heaven and earth. Oh no, why is this guy so terrifying? That's not right. Why is his Qilin roaring? Could it be a mutated breed? That's not right. This is dragon-shaped sword qi. Why does it look so similar to Brother Lin's sword qi? Isn't this guy too good at imitating? The little girl was still suspicious at first, but she was stunned when she saw the great dragon sword soul. Only Lin Xian had the great dragon sword soul. She exclaimed, You're really Brother Lin. That's right, it's me, Chiu. Lin Xian told her some secrets that only he and Shun Jingqiu knew. Shun Jingqiu believed him completely. She threw herself into Lin Xian's arms and cried, Silly girl. Why are you crying? I'm here now, aren't I? Brother Lin, I really missed you. It's great that you're here. Lin Xian comforted her. Then, the little girl poked her head out of Lin Xian's arms, looking shocked. Brother Lin, what's wrong with you? Why are you a Qilin? Chiu didn't recognize you. Sigh, it's a long story. Lin Xian told her about his experience in the ancient tower. Shun Jingqiu was shocked. So that's what happened. You got the treasure of the ancient Qilin. Who would have thought that the treasures of the ancient Clear Heaven Tower that everyone was talking about would actually be obtained by Big Brother Lin? Shun Jingqiu was shocked. Oh yes, Chiu, do you know anything about Peerless City? Lin Xian asked. I know a little. Brother Lin, you're also here to join the Holy City. Shun Jingqiu was surprised. That's great. I'm also preparing to join Peerless City's test. Then, the two of them exchanged information. Lin Xian told her about his experiences over the years. Shun Jingqiu told Lin Xian about her experience. Lin Xian was shocked. It turned out that because of Shun Jingqiu's bloodline, she had joined the Spirit Clan and became a member of the Spirit Clan. Shun Jingqiu was a spirit body, so she was able to manipulate the power of heaven and earth to obtain great power. Lin Xian had seen this before. There was a race in the world called Spirit Tribe. His bloodline was very similar to Shun Jingqiu's, but not as heaven-defying. Therefore, Shun Jingqiu was equivalent to a saintess in the spiritual clan. Now that you're in the spirit race, can you still join Peerless City? Lin Xian was shocked. Peerless City of Peerless. Of course, there were restrictions.
For example, you had to pass the test.
Once you joined a holy city, you couldn't join other holy cities. These holy cities were competing with each other. Lin Xian understood after hearing Huang Xiaolong's words. It turned out that other than the Peerless City, Huang Xiaolong also knew about the Sky Thunder City. There were also other holy cities. Each of them was huge. They were the real overlords of the ancient Road of the Stars. This was because every sacred city had a sage king overseeing it. Since Shinjingqiu was also going to participate in the Wushuang City competition, Lin Xian and Jian Wushuang set off. They boarded the spirit boat and left the green tree star. They didn't cultivate along the way. Instead, they talked about their love. One was beautiful, the other was gentle. They went through the ups and downs together. Finally, one day, they arrived in another world. This world was special. The stars weren't regular. Instead, they were like swallows. Hence, this world was called Swallow Star. According to Shinjingqiu, this place was very close to Peerless City. Hence, everyone who wanted to join Peerless City's test would come here. The Flying Swallow Star was considered a subsidiary force of the Peerless City. The entire Peerless City was huge. It was a city that had been built by a supreme expert for tens of thousands of years. It was even bigger than an entire world. The city floated in the universe like a gigantic object. Lin Xian could feel the terrifying power of heaven and earth as he stood on the Flying Goose Planet. There were many warriors on the Flying Sparrow Star, and all of them were very powerful. Shinjingqiu said that Peerless City didn't take in many disciples. They had only taken in 2 generations. This time, they were taking in the 3rd generation disciples. As for the other holy cities, they had a long history and had taken in more than 10 generations. It was because Peerless City was taking in the 3rd generation disciples that they attracted so many people. If they could get in, they would definitely become a core member of the holy city. However, it was extremely difficult to join the holy city. If one wasn't outstanding and had heaven-defying talent, it wasn't impossible at all. Hence, even though there were so many people in the world, the number of people who could succeed was less than 1 in 10 million. After all, the holy city was taking in disciples from all over the universe. The entire 2nd astral realm would be in an uproar. How many worlds and geniuses would that be? Lin Xian took a deep breath. He was shocked. However, he had absolute confidence in himself. After Shinjingqiu came down, she asked around and was surprised. Brother Lin Xian, we're here at the right time. I heard that the projection of the 9th heaven has been projected. We can go and experience it then. Projection of the 9th heaven? What's that? Lin Xian asked. Shinjingqiu said. That's the content of the test. I heard that Peerless City will use the 9th heaven as the test. Only those who can step into the 9th heaven are qualified to take the test. Lin Xian had a rough understanding of the test. It should be a screening. There were too many people taking part in the test. Hence, they had to eliminate most of them and keep the elites for further screening. Lin Xian was no stranger to this practice. However, he was very curious about the 9th heaven.
I don't know what it's like.
Why don't we go and take a look? All right, but it's just a projection now. We should be able to roughly sense it. Next, the 2 of them tore through the void and left the goose flying planet. They came to the outer realm and flew east for about half a day. They saw a huge shadow in front of them. It was tens of thousands of miles tall and had a terrifying aura. It was as if it had poked a hole in the sky. This should be the projection of the 9th heaven. The real 9th heaven is above. Let's go and sense it. Lin Xian was surprised. What a terrifying pressure. Ordinary sages couldn't withstand it at all. He saw that there were many people around and was prepared to sense it in advance. A saint of the 1st heaven would not be able to stand here, let alone move forward. Lin Xian guessed that to enter, one would have to be at least at the 2nd heaven. If one wanted to get a good result, one would need to be at the 3rd or 4th heaven. It was really shocking. Chapter 3608. In the first astral realm, being able to become a saint was already a peerless genius. But in the second astral realm, it was nothing. For example, Dealing was already a late fourth heavenly layer expert. There should be many other geniuses too. And these were just those who were participating in the assessment. Those who were already disciples of the sacred city, how terrifying were they? He thought of Lei Qianzhong and the others again. Back in the first astral realm, he was already shocked. Now it seemed that Lei Qianzhong was probably at the bottom of the heavenly thunder sacred city. The real geniuses of a sacred city should be like Fu Hongya, who could suppress a small saint alone. Thinking of this, Lin Xian clenched his fists excitedly. He must join the Wushuang city. He took a deep breath and said, "Let's give it a try." The two of them flew up quickly. Just as they entered the black projection, they felt a pressure. But Lin Xian and Xin Jingqiu were both experts. This pressure was not much of a threat to them. They flew up for tens of thousands of miles. Lin Xian felt the pressure getting bigger and bigger. Xin Jingqiu, who was beside him, was also sweating. Lin Xian stopped and asked, "It's okay." Xin Jingqiu glanced at Lin Xian and pouted. "Brother Lin, your physique is too strong." "It's not affected at all." Lin Xian laughed. "You're not simple either. Last time, we fought over 1,000 moves, and we were evenly matched. Also, I'm a body cultivator, so my physique is strong. You should know this. What you have is a spirit body specialty, not in defense, but in other aspects. You must have a lot of trump cards that you haven't used yet." "Hee, you saw through me." Shun Jingqiu laughed. Indeed, the nine-yang divine body was the type with strong defense, but her spirit body took a different path. "Brother Lin, why don't we compete and see who can reach the real ninth heavenly layer first? The loser has to agree to a request." Speaking of this, she blinked her eyes cutely.
Okay.
Lin Xian laughed. He also had a child's heart. The two of them turned into streams of light and shuttled back and forth at high speed. Lin Xian did not use any laws at all. His physique was super strong. Along the way, the pressure slammed into his body, but it didn't cause any ripples. On the other side, Shun Jingqiu used a nomological divine ability. A purple auspicious cloud appeared on his body and surrounded him. He instantly resisted the pressure. The speed of the two was extremely fast. Lin Xian was surprised. Sure enough, they had some tricks up their sleeves. He said, "Qiu, I have to speed up." Speaking up to this point, he stomped his foot and brilliant light burst forth from his body, making him look like a sun. His speed doubled once more. Shun Jingqiu formed a seal with her fingers. Purple qi came from the east. As a spirit body, she could mobilize the power of heaven and earth much more efficiently than others. The surrounding pressure was actually mobilized by him and transformed into his own power. As a result, his speed was doubled. The speed of the two was really too fast. Wherever he spoke, a few people were incomparably shocked. Was it just a gust of wind that blew past? Finally, the two of them stopped. This place was already very high. The surroundings were chaotic, and above them were the 9 heavens, superimposed on each other. It made people feel reverence at a glance. What a terrifying aura. The two of them stood in front of the 9 heavens. They could not go any further. This was the true test place. However, they could only watch now. There was basically no one around, except for the two of them. The two of them sensed for a while and wanted to leave. However, at this time, the sound of tearing through the air came from behind again. Someone was coming. Xin Jingqiu was surprised and turned to look. Was it another expert? In the next moment, she was stunned. The people behind were also stunned. "Fairy Yu." Xin Jingqiu revealed a look of surprise. The person who came from behind was Yu Shirqia. There were few people beside her. Yu Shirqia looked at Xin Jingqiu with a look of surprise. The holy maiden of the spirit clan. She did not expect that the other party would actually be here. Moreover, there was someone beside her. A man. This holy maiden of the spirit clan was also a peerless beauty. She was very famous in the second astral realm. Her reputation was not inferior to hers. Moreover, it was rumored that the other party was also incomparably beautiful and never got close to men. What was going on? Was this man also from the spirit clan? However, when she saw the man turn around, she was stunned. It's you. How is this possible? She was incomparably shocked because she discovered that this person was none other than Lin Xian. She was no stranger to Lin Xian because he had just rescued her. Moreover, he had left from the Rain clan. Why was he here, and with the Holy Maiden of the Spirit clan? It was really too inconceivable. Yu Shirqia was shocked, but the expressions of the people beside her darkened. Their eyes were filled with biting cold, killing intent. Clearly, this killing intent was targeted at Lin Xian. Shen Jingqiu was also stunned by this scene. What was going on? These people were targeting Big Brother Lin. In an instant she also frowned. Lin Xian was also stunned. Enemies really were bound to meet on a narrow road. He did not expect to meet enemies just by coming to see the Nine Heavens. In front of him was not only Yu Shirqia, but also her younger brother, Yu Qianya, and a few other young masters. Zhang Yunfei was also among them. At this moment, Zhang Yunfei's expression was incomparably cold. In truth, he was so angry that his entire body was trembling. He could not forget that he had been beaten up by this person last time. Of course, he believed that this person had ambushed him. With his true strength, he was not weaker than this person. Damn brat, I was careless last time. This time, you will die without a doubt. Haha, you know that you are a loser, but you still dare to boast like this. Lin Xian shook his head, his eyes filled with disdain. Cultivate for another 1,000 years, then come find me again. Damn it, do you dare fight me now? Zhang Yunfei stepped forward, his eyes red. However, Lin Xian did not step forward, but Shen Jingqiu did. She said coldly, "What, are you going to attack my big brother Lin?" "What, big brother Lin?" Zhang Yunfei was stunned. Many people sucked in a cold breath. Even Yu Shirqia and Yu Qianya frowned. Such an intimate address meant that their relationship was not ordinary. But wasn't this too unbelievable? They were very clear about Lin Xian's background. Lin Xian came from the first astral realm and had just arrived. How could he know the Holy Maiden of the Spirit tribe? And their relationship was so close that they were about to go crazy. Zhang Yunfei was also in a daze. He did not attack, only snorting coldly. After all, this was the Holy Maiden of the Spirit tribe. She was of noble status. He did not dare to attack her lightly. But his eyes were burning with anger. He was so jealous. Damn it! What was wrong with this brat? Why did he know the Holy Maiden of the Spirit tribe? Damn it, too damn it. Why was this brat's luck with women so good? Chapter 30:609. First, it was Yu Shirqia who was very close to him. Fortunately, they became enemies. But who would have thought that a peerless beauty like the Holy Maiden of the Spirit clan would be with him? What kind of trick did this brat have to make such a peerless beauty fall in love with him? They really wanted to catch him and take his soul. Even if they couldn't take any peerless martial arts, they felt that their lives were worth it if they could get a peerless beauty like him. Don't worry, even if you didn't come, this guy can't beat me. He lost to me. Really, I knew that Brother Lin was the strongest. How could these guys be your match? Zhang Yunfei and the others were so angry that they wanted to vomit blood. Damn it, they were slapped in the face just like that? And they couldn't even fight back. That was a sneak attack. If I fought seriously, he wouldn't be my match at all. Zhang Yunfei gritted his teeth. Brat, if you have the ability, don't hide behind a woman. Come out and fight with me. I'll prove to you how strong I am. Yes, Holy Maiden, this brat came from the first astral realm. He's a liar. He wanted to trick our Yu clan before, but we saw through him. I didn't expect him to trick you again. You can't be tricked by him. Yu Qianya quickly said. He looked at Shen Jingqiu with a fiery gaze. Shen Jingqiu, whether it was appearance, identity, or status, she didn't lose to his sister. In fact, she was even more outstanding than his sister. This made the young master of the Yu clan very moved. However, Shinjingqiu was angry. You're the liar. Your whole family are liars. This is my brother Lin. This is my husband. How can he be a liar? As she spoke, Shinjingqiu hugged Lin Xian's arm. On the other side, Yu Qianye, Zhang Yunfei, and the others were stunned. Damn. Both sides had confirmed their relationship. Such a good fairy was snatched away by a brat. Their hearts were broken. One had to know that there were a few famous beauties in the second astral realm. Yusiki was one of them. Shinjingqiu was also one of them. But now, the peerless beauty's heart belonged to someone else. They were about to go crazy. Let's go, Brother Lin. Let's not bother with these bad people. Shinjingqiu pulled Lin Xian's hand, and the two of them left Yu Qianye's side. This made everyone's faces turn green. Damn it. Damn it. I don't believe it. No, he had to find a chance to kill him. Zhang Yunfei and the others gritted their teeth. Even Yusiki furrowed her brows. Her expression was extremely displeased. She felt that she was being ignored. No one had ever dared to ignore her beauty, but someone had done it today. Moreover, this person had once saved her life. Don't worry, elder sister. That brat definitely won't live for long. Someone will kill him, Yu Qianye said from the side. On the other side, Shinjingqiu and Lin Xian had left the ninth heaven and returned to the Fian planet. They found a valley with mountains, water, and spirit veins to stay for the time being. Of course, the Sangu Cave mansion was not a place for anyone to live in. Shinjingqiu had spent a large sum of money to purchase it. At this moment, every inch of land on the Fian planet was shockingly expensive. Those who had no money could only stay in the cold outer space. In the valley, Lin Xian and Shinjingqiu once again lived their life as husband and wife. It could be said that they lived like gods. However, they did not know that a piece of news about them was spreading rapidly. And the person who spread the news was Yu Qianye. After Yu Qianye and the others returned from the ninth heaven, they felt that they could not be so passive. They had to think of a way to create some trouble. It would be best if they could get someone else to do the dirty work. Therefore, they spread all kinds of news. Did you know? The holy maiden of the spirit tribe already had a husband.
What?
Impossible? The holy maiden of the spirit tribe was as pure as ice and as beautiful as jade. She was pursued by countless geniuses, but did not succeed. How could she have a husband? Yes, it was true. It was said that someone had seen the two of them holding hands.
Who was it?
Could it be someone from the spirit tribe? No, it was said that someone from the first astral realm came.
What?
Trash from the first astral realm? Those geniuses from the two astral realms were furious. In their eyes, the people from the first astral realm were trash. They did not care about them at all. Only those from the two astral realms were worthy of a peerless beauty, like Shinjingqiu. But now there was someone from the first astral realm who did not know what was good for him. I want to see which ant dares to be so arrogant. Capture him and kill him. The holy maiden of the spirit tribe was not someone that any toad could get close to. Don't worry, we can definitely kill him. That kid is very weak. It is said that he is only an early second heaven sage. What? An early second heaven sage is qualified? Damn it, I thought that those who were not at the fourth heaven sage would not even be able to see the face of the goddess. He is just a second heaven sage. How can he get such preferential treatment? Damn it, he must be practicing some evil cultivation technique. Yes, he might be using his soul to control the holy maiden. No, we must capture him and tear him to pieces. Countless people roared crazily. These people searched the world, wanting to fight to the death with the other party to save the remaining woman. This matter caused an uproar, so much so that the other members of the spirit tribe also heard it. Their faces were also filled with shock. Their saintess had a husband? What kind of joke was this? How could they not know? Moreover, it was someone from the first astral realm. Could it be that the holy maiden had an accident outside? They instantly became nervous. But then they thought that something was wrong. Their holy maiden was very talented and powerful. Moreover, she had many trump cards. If something happened to the holy maiden, they should be the first to know. But now they did not receive any news at all. But what was going on? Who was spreading the rumors? No, they had to find out where Shun Jingqiu was. An expert ordered. The holy maiden was the hope of the spirit tribe. They could not let anything happen to Shin Jingqiu. In an instant, these people were tempted. Soon, they locked onto a valley and quickly moved out. The people of the spirit tribe were very beautiful. The men were handsome, the women were beautiful, and they had a spiritual aura. The moment they appeared, the power of heaven and earth would surge. Therefore, the people of the spirit tribe were the focus of attention wherever they went. When these people of the spirit tribe set off for the valley, they immediately alerted the others. Look, it's the people of the spirit tribe. They're here. Obviously, they've been alerted by the news. They're going to look for the holy maiden, right? Follow them. They'll definitely find the holy maiden. Yes, let's all go and see if this rumor is true. These people followed one after another. When the people of the spirit tribe saw this, their faces changed. But it was too late for them to hide it. They could only speed up. Fallen Flower Valley. It was exceptionally beautiful. There were all kinds of flower petals in it. It was like a paradise on earth. Among these flower petals, there was a young girl. She was like a fairy, picking flowers. But suddenly, she raised her head and frowned. Chapter 36:10. In the next moment, she moved to the other side of the valley. Soon, she saw that a group of people had landed in the valley. Why are you here? Shun Jingqiu frowned. She knew these people from the spirit tribe. However, she did not have a good relationship with these people. Therefore, she was surprised that they were here. Although she was also a spirit body and an innate spirit body, she was still an outsider. However, her physique and bloodline were very similar to those of the spirit tribe. In fact, she was stronger than most of them. Therefore, she was given the title of saintess by the spirit tribe. As a result, the young ladies in the tribe were extremely jealous. They were always up to no good. However, Shun Jingqiu was smart and powerful. Moreover, she was protected by many elders of the spirit tribe. Therefore, nothing had happened. Now that such a big thing had happened, they were naturally here to gloat. If they were lucky, they might be able to ruin Shun Jingqiu's reputation and make her fall from the position of saintess. Sister, do you know that you are in big trouble? A woman with an enchanting figure said in a delicate voice. She was called Ling Lianhua. She was the one who was against Shun Jingqiu the most. She felt that if Shun Jingqiu did not come, she would be the saintess. Therefore, she felt that Shun Jingqiu had stolen her position. Trouble? What trouble did I get into? Shun Jingqiu was curious. Did this woman take the wrong medicine today? Usually, she would not dare to provoke her. Why did she dare to come today? My good sister, aren't you a little too slow on the uptake? Don't you know what happened in the past 2 days? Ling Lianhua was stunned. She thought that Shun Jingqiu had made up countless excuses. She did not expect that Shun Jingqiu did not know at all. Thinking of this, she sneered in her heart. Let's see how you're going to die this time. She laughed. Do you know that there are rumors outside that you are with a man? Why are you calling him your husband? Tell me, this is a great insult to the reputation of the spirit tribe. Yes, you don't know how exaggerated the rumors are outside. They say that the man is only at the second heaven and is a piece of trash. They even say that he is from the first astral realm. What kind of rumors are they? How can such a person be a genius? As the holy maiden, you represent the spirit race, so you have to think twice before you act. Most of the people who came were women from the spirit race. Of course, there were a few men as well. They were all the younger brothers or older brothers of these people. They were here to cheer. They were all waiting for Shun Jingqiu's answer. The valley was crowded with people. Many people's eyes glowed as they used various eye techniques, formations, and weapons to observe the battle. What was going on? Was there really a man hiding inside? However, with the arrival of the spirit race, The truth would soon be revealed. Shun Jingqiu heaved a sigh of relief. She thought something big had happened. Wasn't it just these rumors? That day, she did not hide anything from Lin Xian, and they even met Yusiki and the others near the ninth heaven. With the relationship between both parties, how could House Yu not make an issue out of this? Without a doubt, the news was released by House Yu.
His goal was to target Lin Xian.
I know what you're talking about. Sisters, is there anything else? If not, please leave. I still have to cultivate. I still have to participate in the Sacred City's examination in 2 days. Shin Jingqiu did not show any emotion. Everyone was in an uproar. However, Ling Lianhua and the others were gritting their teeth. Damn it! Why are you pretending? Let's see how you're going to be the Holy Maiden now. However, in the next moment, they were stunned. They saw Shun Jingqiu turn around and leave, walking towards the valley. She did not seem to care about them. Damn it! He had actually ignored them. Damn it, if it wasn't for the old ancestor protecting you, you wouldn't be where you are today. These people were going crazy. The men beside them also sneered and walked out. Holy Maiden, what kind of attitude is this? We're so concerned about the reputation of the spirit race, but you don't care? Don't forget how we, the spirit race, have treated you. As the Holy Maiden, shouldn't you do something for us? That's right. Or are you really hiding a man in this valley? If there's really a man, let him come out. I want to see what methods he used to bewitch you, Holy Maiden. That's right. That man has committed a crime. We'll tear him into pieces. Holy Maiden, you don't have to be afraid. With us around, you won't be threatened. Shut up. Shun Jingqiu was furious. These people kept calling her trash. Who did they think she was? In her eyes, these people were not even comparable to a strand of Lin Xian's hair. On the opposite side, Ling Lianhua and the others were shocked. They had never seen Shun Jingqiu angry. They did not expect her to scold them because of a man. Instantly, their faces darkened. On the other side, Shun Jingqiu said coldly, "Since you know that I'm the Holy Maiden of the spirit race, you'd better behave yourselves in front of me. As the Holy Maiden, I can represent the entire spirit race to punish you. So, don't go overboard. I don't want to fight you, but don't blame me for being rude if you push me too far." Shun Jingqiu knew that she was an outsider. Therefore, even though she was the Holy Maiden, she had never lost her temper with anyone. Her goal was simple. She wanted to cultivate and follow in the footsteps of Lin Xian towards the peak of martial arts. But now, these people were insulting Lin Xian. She could not take it anymore. Even if the old master wanted to punish her, she would teach these people a lesson today. On the opposite side, Ling Lianhua and the others were equally shocked. They could not believe that Shun Jingqiu would lose her temper. Furthermore, it seemed like she was about to fight. For a moment, they were perturbed. They had never seen their Holy Maiden in such a state. "Qiu, where are the petals that you plucked? Why aren't they here yet? I've already brewed the spirit wine. I'm just waiting for you to drink it." Suddenly, a voice came from the valley. The moment the voice came out, Ling Lianhua and the others in the valley were stunned. There's someone in the valley. Furthermore, it's a man's voice. After digging up the heavens, there was really a man hidden in this valley. The news spread like wildfire. Ling Lianhua and the others' minds went blank. To be honest, they thought that it was just a rumor. They were prepared to suppress Shun Jingqiu, but they did not expect to see it with their own eyes. Shun Jingqiu was really with another man. Who is it? Is it a piece of trash like the rumors said? They looked into the valley carefully. Soon, they saw a man walking out from the valley. Chapter 36:11. It was a man in red. He was tall and handsome, and his eyes were as bright as the stars. One look at him, and one would be lost in them. What a handsome man! Everyone was shocked. Even Ling Lianhua and the rest were tempted. His appearance and temperament could make countless women fall in love with him. But in the next moment, they were stunned when they saw his cultivation level. He was at the second heaven of the sage realm. They looked at him in disdain. Such a cultivation state was pretty decent in the outside world. But in the face of geniuses of the spirit race, it was nothing. The weakest of them was at the second heaven of the sage realm. Many of them were at the third heaven. The people outside the valley were stunned. Who is this man? Is he the legendary person from the first star realm? Brother Lin, Shun Jingqiu looked at Lin Xian and called out softly. Lin Xian came to her side and rubbed her hair. Then he asked, "What are you doing? Why are you so slow? The wine is getting cold." He raised his head and looked at the people in front of him, a look of surprise on his face. "People from the spirit clan? Are they here to look for you? You are the husband of the saintess? Kid, what despicable means did you use to bewitch our saintess? Kneel down and accept your death. Today, I will destroy your soul." A few men from the spirit tribe walked out, emitting powerful auras. Lin Xian frowned. Seems like they are not here with good intentions. He wanted to treat them to a drink, but it seemed like there was no need for that. Shun Jingqiu also sent a voice transmission. "Brother Lin, be careful. These guys are here for you, but I will help you deal with them." Lin Xian sighed in his heart. Seems like Shun Jingqiu's life was not easy. She was an outsider after all. Some of the spirit tribe members were not satisfied with being the saintess of the spirit tribe. Seems like they are not friends. Since that is the case, you guys should leave quickly. You are not welcome here. Lin Xian said coldly. He did not attack immediately. After all, they were Shun Jingqiu's tribesmen. So, he did not want to attack the spirit tribe unless he had no other choice. "Kid, you want to chase us away? Do you have the right to do so?" A man walked out and sneered. He emitted a powerful aura. He was a level 3 heaven saint and had a cold smile on his face. In his opinion, if he were to display his holy aura of the third heaven, his opponent would definitely be scared to the ground. He had to give the other party a show of strength and humiliate them. He wanted to see what Shun Jingqiu was going to do. However, he was soon stunned because he realized that it was useless to show off his strength. Lin Xian stood there coldly, with a sneer on his face. Why didn't he want to leave? Do you want me to send you off personally? If that's the case, I'm afraid your spiritual race's reputation won't look too good. How could this be? He actually ignored my saint aura. The man was stunned. One must know that there was a difference of an entire cultivation realm between the two of them. Just by using his saint's might, he could easily force the other party to kneel on the ground. However, this move didn't succeed at all. Damn it, isn't this brat too strange? Brat, don't be so arrogant in front of me. If it wasn't for the saintess, you would already be a dead man. You should be the lucky ones. Lin Xian sneered. If Chiu wasn't your saintess, all of you would have already gone to hell. It's all thanks to Chiu that all of you are still alive. Indeed, Lin Xian was giving Shun Jingqiu face. Otherwise, these people wouldn't have the right to be arrogant in front of him. Damn it, Ling Lian and the others were so angry that their faces turned pale. A small ant dared to be so arrogant in front of them. Hee, even if I have to offend the saintess today, I will kill you personally. The man walked out with a powerful aura around him.
How dare you?
Shun Jingqiu shouted angrily. She was also angry. She had already given these people a lot of face. I'm warning you, don't go overboard. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. Sister Chiu, are you really going to disregard the spiritual race's reputation and be with such a person? Ling Lian said coldly. Shun Jingqiu said that she was free to be with whoever she wanted. I think even the spiritual race wouldn't restrict her. Furthermore, aren't you embarrassing the spiritual race by doing this? It seems like Sister Ling has grown up. Otherwise, the spiritual race wouldn't even care about you. All right, let's let the elders decide on this matter. I hope that you can still be as persistent as you are now. Evidently, Ling Lian wanted to expose this matter to the spiritual race and let the elders make the decision. When the time came, he wanted to see how Shun Jingqiu would deal with it. Those elders doted on her. They wouldn't let the spiritual race's reputation be tarnished. Humph. Shin Jingqiu ignored them, but her face turned cold. Lin Xian frowned. These people dared to threaten Qiu'er. They deserved to die. He said in a low voice, I'll give you 2 seconds to disappear from my sight. Hey, kid, you dare to release your killing intent in front of me? Do you believe that I will? The third heaven sage sneered again. A second heaven ant dared to release his killing intent. Wasn't he courting death? But before he could finish his words, he screamed. In the next moment, his arm was broken. Lin Xian finally couldn't take it anymore. He broke the other party's arm and threw it back. The surrounding people were all stunned. So were the spiritual race people. Their pupils constricted.
How could this be?
Wasn't the other party a second heaven? How could he injure a third heaven sage? This went against common sense. How dare you injure me? Cracking sounds came from the spirit race clansman's body as his broken arm healed once again. He wanted to rush over, but Lin Xian drew a line on the ground with his finger. Those who crossed the line would die. This time, the sound was merciless. The entire world shook violently. Unknowingly, the third heaven elite stopped. His face was filled with fear. Ling Lianhua and the others felt their souls trembling. What was going on? They were afraid. This shouldn't be. Was this person really only at the second celestial layer? Was he really trash? But how could he release such an aura? The spirit race's people were stunned by the ravine. The spectators around the valley were also shocked. This kid didn't seem to be as simple as he looked. They didn't know. Something was wrong. They had to investigate. But there were people who sneered. An ant would always be an ant. No matter how strong he was, he wouldn't be able to do anything. All right, I already know what you want to say. If you want to complain to the elders, go ahead. This is my valley. I don't welcome you. Leave quickly. Shin Jingqiu walked out and said coldly. All right, then Sister Linger, see you in our family. Ling Lianhua snorted. She brought her people and flew into the sky, disappearing into the sky. Chapter 30, 612. Brother Lin, I'm sorry. Shin Jingqiu smiled bitterly. Lin Xian rubbed her head. If you have any difficulties, just tell me. If it's inconvenient for you, I'll help you. Murderous intent flashed across his eyes. Shin Jingqiu shook her head. Forget it. After all, they're from the spirit tribe. I've received a lot of care from the spirit tribe over the years, so I don't want to fight them. Seeing Lin Xian's loving gaze, Shin Jingqiu smiled. Don't worry, they won't dare to say anything when we join Wushuang's sacred city. Don't worry, Qiu'er. I'll definitely make a name for myself in the second astral boundary. When the time comes, the elders of the spirit tribe won't reject us. That's for sure. Qiu'er believes in Brother Lin. Shin Jingqiu smiled. Oh right, I've heard that there's still some time before Wushuang City's assessment. I'm preparing to go into seclusion for the final sprint. Brother Lin, are you going into seclusion too? I've just broken through, and it's not easy for me to go into seclusion. I'm going to walk around the Azure Tree Star and understand the situation here. All right. Shin Jingqiu nodded. Suddenly, she thought of something. Oh right, Brother Lin, you can go to the gathering. Gathering? What gathering? Lin Xian was surprised. Shin Jingqiu said that it's a small martial arts gathering for the top geniuses. I've also received an invitation. However, I'm going into seclusion and don't have time. Brother Lin, why don't you go on my behalf? I'll take the opportunity to see what kind of geniuses are participating in this assessment. A martial arts gathering? Interesting. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. All right, I'll go take a look. He received the invitation. Shin Jingqiu was preparing to go into seclusion. Lin Xian also set up a few arrays for Shin Jingqiu. Then, he left behind an array formation for transmitting messages and left. Presumably, no one would be able to break through his array formation. Even if it was broken, he could teleport back in an instant. After doing all this, Lin Xian left Falling Flower Valley. He started to walk along Falling Flower Valley, passing by one city after another. Due to Wushuang City's assessment, there were too many geniuses on the Flying Sparrow Star. It was a rare event. It was estimated that the experts of the countless worlds nearby had all gathered here. Some people even created a golden distinction roll based on these people's talent and strength. It was said that the people on the roll had a high chance of joining Peerless City. On the gold roll, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. It was obvious that someone was trying to create momentum for the top geniuses. He easily got his hands on a list. There were dozens of geniuses on the golden distinction roll, but the most dazzling ones were the top 8. They were the 8 geniuses. The 8 geniuses were favored by countless people. They were all famous geniuses from the 2-star realms. Lin Xian immediately recognized Di Ling, who was ranked first among the 8 great geniuses. This imperial mausoleum was indeed incredible. Lin Xian nodded slightly. He had seen Di Mausoleum's battle before. Di Mausoleum was evenly matched with those experts of the older generation. Di Ling's cultivation was at the late stage of the 4th heaven of the Sage Realm. On top of that, there was an extremely terrifying coffin in his body that could greatly increase his strength. However, Lin Xian had a feeling that the coffin was too cold. It was probably a trump card that could not be used easily. The one ranked below Di Ling was a person called Gui Li. Lin Xian looked at the introduction. This Gui Li actually came from the Fiend Star. His memory of the Fiend Star was still fresh. It was a place where countless ruthless people gathered. People who came from such a place would definitely have extremely ruthless means. Gui Li should be one of the best among them. Next, there were some people such as Shi Bufan, Shi Sui Tianchen, and the others. They were all geniuses who came from different worlds, different families. However, without exception, their names resounded throughout the starry sky. Lin Xian also saw Shen Jingqiu's name. She was ranked 6th. It seemed that this little girl was also very famous. Other than Shen Jingqiu, he also saw a familiar face. That was Yu Qianya, the young master of the Yu family. He was ranked behind Shen Jingqiu. The 8 great geniuses? He wondered how many people would be able to attend this martial arts meeting. Lin Xian was looking forward to it. According to Shen Jingqiu, the martial arts meeting would be held at Broken Cloud Mountain. Lin Xian identified the direction and sped up towards Broken Cloud Mountain. Broken Cloud Mountain towered into the clouds and had an extraordinary aura. There were many geniuses nearby. However, ordinary people could only wander around the foot of the mountain. Without an invitation, they could not enter. When they arrived near Broken Cloud Mountain, flying was already prohibited. Therefore, when Lin Xian landed, he found many people waiting around. There was a beast pulling a chariot and bringing them in. It was a 100-legged centipede. It was very large, like a mountain range. One could not see the end of it. There were countless chariots on its back. Lin Xian paid some divine crystals and then boarded a chariot. There were a few other people in the chariot with her. Among them, there was a young girl with fair skin and beautiful looks. Beside her was a young man in luxurious clothes. He waved a folding fan with an arrogant expression. There were a few other people, both men and women. However, their expressions were very cold and unapproachable. The young girl with fair skin was very cute. When she got on the chariot, she looked at Lin Xian and said, "Hello, I'm Jiang Xiuyu. Are you here for the martial arts meeting too?"
Yes.
Lin Xian nodded slightly. At this moment, the arrogant young man beside her said, "Xiuyu, don't talk nonsense with this guy. Looking at his shabby clothes, he probably doesn't even have the right to enter. He can only wander around at the foot of the mountain." Hearing this, Lin Xian raised his eyebrows slightly. Another arrogant young master. That Xiaoyu was the same. To be honest, she was very unhappy with Hua Yuke. However, she had no choice. This was the arrangement of her family. Her family wanted to matchmake her with Hua Yuke. She could only follow him helplessly. However, Xiaoyu did not like the other party's overbearing attitude. "Sorry, he's very rude." Xiaoyu looked at Lin Xian apologetically. Lin Xian was surprised. Looking at this young girl, she should be a sage. He did not expect her to be so well-educated. It seemed that people's personalities were indeed different. He smiled and said, It's okay, I won't mind. Hee, do you dare to mind? Hua Yuke sneered. He was the young master of the Hua family. He was very powerful and had a high status. How dare this guy go against him? Was he tired of living? Lin Xian simply ignored young master Hua's mysterious self-confidence. Closing his eyes, he sat in the war chariot, waiting for something to happen. After about an hour, the centipede stopped. They had arrived at their destination. Let's go, Xiuyu. Hua Yuke took the lead and got off the chariot. Xiuyu followed behind him, and the others got off as well. Lin Xian followed suit. There were even more people here. However, most of them did not have the right to enter. They could only wander around and wait. From time to time, they would ask for some information. After all, even if they could not enter, they would have something to brag about in the future. Chapter 30, 613. Young Master, let's go together. Xiuyu looked at Lin Xian and smiled. She didn't know why, but she felt that Lin Xian's aura made her feel very comfortable. She couldn't put her finger on it. Maybe it was because of the Tao of heaven and earth. Lin Xian cultivated the 5 elements law and had the yin-yang image. These were the most original powers of heaven and earth. Hence, he could make others feel at ease. Perhaps he didn't realize it himself. Seeing this, Hua Yuke laughed coldly. He did not say anything and continued walking forward. This Xiaoyu was too naive. Looking at how poor the other party was, how could he be qualified to enter? The group of people walked forward. Hua Yuke took out his invitation card. After the guard checked, he smiled and said, "So, it's the young master of the flower tribe. Please come in." Hua Yuke nodded and was satisfied. He said, "This is the little princess of the Jiang tribe. She came with me." "So it's Fairy Jiang. Please come in," the guards said respectfully. Hua Yuke said, "Oh right, the kid behind us is not with us. You have to check carefully." This was a small martial arts competition. Not just any Tom, Dick, or Harry could enter. Hearing this, the guard's eyes lit up and he stared at Lin Xian. The two of them crossed swords and blocked the way. "Young master, do you have an invitation?" Seeing this, Jiang Xiaoyu quickly said, "Why don't we bring this young master in as well? Anyway, you have an invitation, and you should have a spot. Bring him in." Hua Yuke smiled in disdain. "What a joke." Lin Xian said, "No need. I have my own invitation." He took out his invitation and passed it to the guard. "He has one." Hua Yuke was stunned. He then laughed coldly. "Look carefully. Don't let anyone fake it." The others were also whispering to each other. The guard carefully checked the invitation card 3 times and found that it was real. He said respectfully, "Young master, there was a misunderstanding. I hope you don't blame me." After all, those who could have love invitations were either rich or respectable. They all had frightening backgrounds. These guards did not dare to offend them easily. How could it be? Did you see it clearly? Is the invitation real? Hua Yuke could not believe what he was seeing. How could this poor and destitute brat have an invitation? One had to know that this was a small martial arts competition. Experts from families from many worlds had gathered here. Ordinary families were not qualified to enter. Which clan was this kid from? "Young Master Hua, this invitation card is real. We can be sure of that." After that, they looked at Lin Xian. They did not know his name. Lin Wudi. Lin Xian wrote down his name on the list of flowers in a carefree manner. When this name came out, quite a few people turned their heads one after another. Daring to call himself unrivaled. Who is this? Wasn't this too arrogant? This fellow's cultivation. Holy shit, he's only a second heaven sage. A second heaven sage dared to call himself invincible. Where did his confidence come from? Whispers could be heard all around. Hua Yuke sneered again. What an ignorant brat. He didn't pay any more attention to it. In his opinion, even if the other party had an invitation, it was probably stolen from somewhere. As for calling himself Lin Wudi, he was even more disdainful. Perhaps it was just an invincible king. This brat probably became a sage by chance. The others were also discussing. They did not think that a second heaven sage would dare to call himself invincible. Lin Xian did not care about these people's discussions. He wanted to walk the path of martial arts. How could these ordinary people know about it? Boom, boom, boom. The heavens and earth rumbled. A ray of light descended from the sky, attracting everyone's attention. Gasps could be heard. Heavens, how could this be? Someone actually flew here? This was too unbelievable. That's right.
Who was he?
How could he fly? Wasn't it forbidden to fly here? These people were all stunned. They had stopped at 100,000 miles and could only ride chariots. But now someone actually flew over. Was this a provocation?
Boom.
The ray of light had already descended. The mountains collapsed and the earth cracked. Everyone's blood boiled. Someone fell to the ground and spat out blood. What a terrifying power. Who was this person? Even Hua Wuke, Zhang Xiaoyu, and the others were swaying. Lin Xian felt a huge power coming towards him. However, he activated his divine body slightly and negated the power. However, he was also shocked. This power was indeed shocking. Who was it? He turned his head and looked. He saw a tall man walking over from afar. He was about 5 meters tall, and his body was bronze in color. There were terrifying runes on his body. Was this a giant? Lin Xian was shocked. The surrounding people exclaimed. It was the Stone Tribe's genius. The Stone Clan was an extremely terrifying clan. Their strength was boundless, and their defense was astonishing. Their name resounded throughout the heavens. The guards were also stunned. Who dared to fly here? They did not expect that someone would dare to break the rules.
So, what if you're strong?
In front, the Stone Tribe's expert said coldly. I am Sherbufan. Sherbufan. When these words came out, the surrounding people were stunned. Heavens, he was Sherbufan. These people did not dare to believe that Sherbufan was one of the 8 geniuses. As expected, the guards were also stunned. So it was young Master Sher who had arrived. We were blind. Please forgive us. They did not dare to pursue the matter of flying in the air. Sherbufan's identity was frighteningly high. At the same time, a guard took up a horn and blew it. At the same time, another person shouted to the sky. Sherbufan of the 8 geniuses had arrived. Inside the broken cloud mountain, 8 beautiful women suddenly walked out. Each of them was holding flowers, and those were all rare spirit flowers. At this moment, the flower petals danced in the air. All sorts of heaven and earth techniques intertwined. These people invited Sherbufan in with the highest treatment. These were the 8 geniuses? They were too strong. Yes, they were completely different from us. Those who had love cards could only look up to the sky and sigh. They could only be checked by the guards and then let in. However, Sherbufan descended from the sky and was invited in respectfully. The gap between them was simply too great. Even the prideful Hua Yuke had to retract his pride in front of Sherbufan. Instead, his face was filled with envy. Only Lin Xian was calm. Although Sherbufan was strong, he was extremely confident in himself. He believed that given time, he would soar into the sky. In fact, it would not be long before his name was known throughout the world. Within Broken Cloud Mountain there were pavilions and buildings. The birds were chirping and the flowers were fragrant. It was a celestial scene. In the midst of the crowd, a voice rang out. Sherbufan of the 8 geniuses had arrived. This voice caused the entire cloud segment mountain to seethe with excitement. Was it the 8 geniuses who had arrived? Heavens, it was Sherbufan. He was ranked 3rd among the 8 geniuses. They did not expect him to come. Chapter 30, 614. These people were too excited. Sherbufan was one of the most popular candidates for the Wushuang City assessment. Countless beautiful girls screamed, looking as if they wanted to jump into Sherbufan's arms. In a mountain range, a man stood with his hands clasped behind his back in a pavilion that seemed to be made of celestial jade. His eyes were shining as he looked into the distance. There were a few people beside him. One of them said, with a smile, "Sherbufan's reputation is really great. Look at those girls, it's even more spectacular than when you came." Another person laughed. The others also looked at the person standing at the front. Standing at the front was a man in a golden silk robe. He looked cold, and his eyes were shining. The light in his eyes was like a star array, shining with a strange light. This man was called Shui Tianchen. He was extremely powerful and was one of the 8 great sky prides. It's nothing. These are all passing clouds. Only strength is the real deal, Shui Tianchen said indifferently. He did not seem to care about the spectacular scene below. I think that the person who ranked the golden distinction board must have a problem with his eyes. How could he rank you lower than Sherbufan? The voice was ice-cold, but there was a hint of coquettishness in it. It came from a woman. The girl was wearing a blue robe. Even her hair was blue. She was emitting a cold aura. If she was from the Ice Goddess Class 1, her name was Wang Xiaofeng, the Ice Li clan's genius. She was also one of the 8 great sky prides. She looked at the golden-robed man in front of her with a trace of adoration in her eyes. In her heart, no one could be compared to Shui Tianchen. Shui Tianchen turned around and looked at Wang Xiaofeng with a smile. You can't say that. Sherbufan is indeed unique. He is from the Stone Clan, and his defense is strong. Moreover, he has the rare demon rock body. Not many people can be his opponent. I have never fought with him before, so it's hard to say who will win. Shui Tianchen was not afraid of Sherbufan. However, his eyes were shining with a cold light. But if we really fight, I am confident that I can defeat him. Furthermore, I only have one enemy in the Wushuang City assessment, and that is Di Ling. When he said that, the light in his eyes became even brighter. It seemed like Shui Tianchen was extremely conceited. Di Ling was his only opponent. Imperial Mausoleum? At the mention of this name, the others also frowned slightly. Because this person was also incomparably terrifying. He was a legend, and his strength and reputation were above Sherbufan's. What was the origin of this Imperial Mausoleum? I still haven't figured it out. One of them shook his head. Another person said. It was said that he came from the first astral realm, but no one knew if that was true or not. Wang Xiaofeng said that he was indeed from the first astral realm. It was hard to imagine that the first astral realm could produce such a legendary figure. Moreover, he was chosen by the Spirit Sealing Star. The reason why he was so powerful and was chosen by the Spirit Sealing Star was because he had the legendary Sky Burial Body. Shui Tianchen said. The others were confused. What's the Celestial Star Body? Why haven't I heard of it? Yes, even Wang Xiaofeng had a puzzled look on her face. It was a very rare body constitution. Moreover, it was a double-edged sword. The so-called Sky Burial Body, you can see it as a very suitable cemetery for burying people. What? Everyone gasped. Burial ground? Are you saying that the Imperial Mausoleum itself is a burial ground? That's unbelievable. However, Shui Tianchen said that there's nothing unbelievable about it. Haven't you heard that there's a strange coffin inside Di Ling's body? That means that he has the Sky Burial Body. The moment these words came out, the few of them sucked in a breath of cold air. They were all top-notch geniuses, with extraordinary backgrounds. They had studied Di Ling's mausoleum countless times. Therefore, they knew that there was a strange coffin inside Di Ling's body. When that coffin appeared, the combat strength of the Imperial Mausoleum would undergo an earth-shattering change. Moreover, the thing inside the coffin could also attack people. It was said that Di Ling had shown it in the Tower of Babel. Damn it, he actually has such a body constitution. Then, wouldn't he be invincible? Someone exclaimed. During the battle in the Tower of Babel, it was said that Di Ling could even fight against a minor saint. Although he has the Sky Burial Body, it's impossible for him to use the coffin without limit. His body wouldn't be able to withstand it. Therefore, there's no need to worry. Shui Tianchen said again. Moreover, Wushuang City wouldn't allow Di Ling to use such a thing in the assessment. Moreover, Who doesn't have a trump card? He harumphed coldly after saying that. The other's eyes flickered. That being said, Deeling's mausoleum was really terrifying. No one knew when the coffin in his body would explode. Brother Shui, how confident are you in defeating Deeling's mausoleum? Wang Xiaofeng asked. The others pricked up their ears as they wanted to know as well. Shui Tian Chen shook his head. It's hard to say. If my Shui Ai technique can subdue Deeling, then I'm 100% confident. But if I make a mistake and Deeling is on guard, then I'm afraid I'll be in trouble. But I've been practicing that technique recently. If I can master that technique, defeating Deeling won't be a problem. Could it be that technique? Wang Xiaofeng exclaimed. Shui Tian Chen's lips curled up. That's right. It's that technique. I've almost mastered it. I hope I can master it before Wushuang City's assessment. That way, I'll have a greater chance. The hall was filled with shock. On the other side, Lin Xian and the others walked into the broken cloud mountain range. Screams and shouts were still echoing in their ears. Of course, they were not for them, nor were they for Hua Yuke. It was for Shirbufan. From this, one could see how famous the 8 great sky prides were. Lin Xian heard many people whispering along the way. This time, they had invited many geniuses, including a few of the 8 great sky prides. I wonder if Deeling will come. Lin Xian was looking forward to it. But after listening for a while, he realized that Deeling wouldn't come. He was disappointed. To be honest, he was quite interested in Deeling, especially the coffin in his body. But it seemed like he could only see Deeling at Wushuang City's assessment. Jiang Xiaoyu seemed to be very friendly towards Lin Xian. This made Hua Yuke very unhappy. Just as he was about to explode, his body trembled as if something was missing from his soul. When he tried to sense it, he couldn't find it. Chapter 36:15. Jiang Xiuyu, who was at the side, was also puzzled, but she could not find anything. The others exclaimed, but the feeling disappeared in an instant. Lin Xian frowned slightly. A trace of golden light flashed in his eyes and circled around him. Soon, he locked onto a mountain range. On the mountain range, there was a pavilion that looked like a heavenly palace. The gaze just now came from there. It seemed that there was an expert looking at them. An eye technique expert. Interesting. Lin Xian was interested. Although they had entered Broken Cloud Mountain, there were still 3 days before the real enlightenment session began. Everyone used this time to start making friends and asking around. Lin Xian found a place and sat down. He was ready to spend these 3 days in enlightenment. However, on the second day, the surroundings suddenly became lively. It turned out that there were 8 geniuses nearby, and they were extremely terrifying eye technique geniuses. Shui Tian Chen. Shui Tian Chen was a very powerful genius, ranked 4th among the geniuses. Of course, there were also people who said that Shui Tian Chen was definitely in the top 3, but he had been hiding his strength. After all, his eye technique was extremely strange. It could injure the soul and kill instantly. His appearance was no less lively than Shirbufan's. Countless people followed him. There was a place called Luotian Mountain Stream in front. It was very strange and contained the will of heaven and earth, allowing people to comprehend heaven and earth there. Everyone walked forward. It turned out that this was a very suitable place for cultivation, but ordinary people didn't know about it. And Shui Tian Chen had a strange eye technique that could discover such a good place. The surrounding people were amazed. As expected of a terrifying eye technique genius, they didn't know that there was such a good place in Broken Cloud Mountain. These people followed one after another, wanting to see what the Luotian mountain stream was like. However, when they came close, they found that there was someone nearby. There was a young man sitting cross-legged there, seemingly meditating. Someone had actually beaten him to it? How could it be? Could it be that someone had discovered the wonders of this place? Many people were surprised. However, some people sneered. How could it be? In the entire Yunduan Mountain, other than Shui, Who else could discover the wonders of this place? One had to know that not many people knew about the Luotian mountain stream. The great Tao of heaven and earth contained in it was not so easy to comprehend. Otherwise, this place would have been occupied by countless people. Hearing this, everyone nodded. Since they were able to come here, their status, talent, and strength were all extraordinary. However, they had never heard of it before. If it weren't for the fact that Water Sky City had brought them here, they would have never heard of it. Even if they were beaten to death, they wouldn't have known that there was such a good place. Who is this guy? Should I tell him to scram? His cultivation doesn't seem to be much. How can such a good place be occupied by an ant like him? Someone sneered. Gongzi Stillwater, do you need us to help you? Someone dared to occupy the place that young Master Shui fancied. Wasn't that courting death? No need, just tell him and let him take the initiative to leave. I don't think he will refuse. Shui Tiancheng said indifferently. The others all agreed. Brother Shui was indeed magnanimous. With young Master Shui's magnanimity, how could he lower himself to the level of these people? The group of people quickly moved forward. Soon, they arrived in front of the Luotian mountain stream. At this moment, someone in the crowd exclaimed. It was him. The person who exclaimed was Jiang Xiaoyu. She naturally came to see Water Sky City. After all, the 8 great geniuses were all admired. However, she didn't expect to meet Lin Xian here. Beside her, Hua Yuke was also there. When he saw Lin Xian sitting cross-legged there, he immediately sneered. This guy was really courting death. He actually dared to occupy the place that Water Sky City fancied. Someone beside him snorted coldly. It was like thunder exploding between heaven and earth. Lin Xian opened his eyes and furrowed his brows. Who was disturbing his cultivation? He turned his head and looked into the distance. His eyes flashed with a trace of light. There were actually so many people here. He glanced around and found that Jiang Xiaoyu and Hua Wuk were in the crowd. However, they weren't the main characters. The one who made people's eyes shine was a man standing in the center. His figure was slender and his face was expressionless. His eyes were like the vast stars, incomparably deep. When Lin Xian saw the other party's eyes, his soul shook and he revealed a trace of surprise. It was him. Previously, it was this person who used his soul to investigate them. It seemed that this was the eye technique expert. Why are you here? Lin Xian asked coldly. Kid, this is Water Sky City, one of the 8 great geniuses. Now he wants to come to the Luotian mountain stream to comprehend. Hurry up and leave. This isn't a place for you to stay. You'd better leave. Otherwise, you'll make a mistake. Another person said coldly. Luotian mountain stream wants to comprehend here? Lin Xian frowned. Were they trying to snatch his place?
He laughed.
Why did they have to choose this place? What do you know? This place is extraordinary. Only our young Master Water can discover the mysteries of this place. If it's occupied by someone like you, it'll only be a waste. Those who spoke had thick arrogance and disdain in their eyes. It was obvious that they were Water Sky City's followers. Just now, they had already investigated Lin Xian's cultivation. An early second heavenly layer sage was not worth mentioning in their eyes. Not to mention compared to Shui Sky City. You want me to leave? It's not impossible, but is this the attitude for negotiation? Lin Xian sneered. Little treasure, what do you mean? You don't want to leave, or you want to take advantage of the situation. Could it be that you want us to beg you? The other people's faces darkened. However, Water Sky City waved his hand, not letting them continue to say anything. Now that everyone was watching, he couldn't appear to be too bullying. After all, as one of the 8 great geniuses, what he wanted was reputation. So he walked out and said indifferently, Brother, I really need this place. Can you make it convenient for me? In addition, the peak of Lin Yun's Broken Mountain is not bad. You can cultivate there. This place? It's not impossible to give it to you. Lin Xian said indifferently. Hearing this, everyone was expressionless. In their opinion, no one dared to compete with Shui Sky City. Among the crowd, Xiao Yu heaved a sigh of relief. Great. She was really afraid that Lin Xian would have a conflict with the other party. Very good. The corner of Water Sky City's mouth raised into a smile, but in the next moment, he was stunned. Because Lin Xian continued to say, I heard that you are one of the 8 great geniuses. Why don't you compare notes with me? If you win, I will give this place to you.
What?
These words were like a clap of thunder, shocking all the people around. What did he say? He wanted to compare notes with Water Sky City? Heavens, this kid's brain must have been flooded with water. Many people looked at Lin Xian as if looking at an idiot. Did he know what the 8 great geniuses represented? Immediately, some followers disdained. Kid, who do you think you are? Are you worthy to compare notes with our young master Shui? That's right, the early stage of the second heaven is like an ant in front of us. Where did this ignorant boy come from? Hurry up and leave, lest you get killed. These people looked impatient, and even Water Sky City's face darkened. He wanted to fight with an early-stage second heaven saint? What a joke. He wasn't interested at all. You're tuning into the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.